I'll take you anywhere. Just tell me I'll be there. We don't need a plan, I like it unprepared. Whatever comes our way, we'll stay there for the day. So dream, dream away. So dream, dream away. Clear up my vision. I want colors to find. Turned up from black and white. Find what I'm seeking. Leave my troubles behind. Stars from another time. We're leaving now. Into the clouds. I'll take you anywhere. Just tell me I'll be there. We don't need a plan. I like it unprepared. Whatever comes our way, we'll stay there for the day. So dream, dream away. So dream, dream away. I'll take you anywhere. Just tell me I'll be there. Whatever comes our way, we'll stay there for the day. So dream, dream away. So dream, dream away. So dream, dream away.
Wow. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's get that music back up and running. Let's get the energy at its apogee, actually and factually, increasing daily, rapidly. Let's go, baby, to the upside. We hit another gain in the trading group. Hasn't been amazing with CPI. As you can imagine, it's always a bit sketchy. Let's take a look at what's happening here for Bitcoin and break it down for you. Got the cufflinks on today. The cufflinks on, all right? We went all out for you guys. 3-piece. Ready to go. Mafioso over here. Sammy Pinky Blinder. Hey. Watch the suit, kid. Hey, watch the suit. Hey. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for bringing that energy, bringing that love, and bringing that lifer vibe. Only the lifers can do it the way we do it, baby. every single day, motivated to push to the limit. Let's break down what happens to BTC. I can't wait. We might live trade today. It's Wednesday, one of my favorite days to trade. Let's see if we can get some action. We're waiting on this right shoulder to possibly take us to Valhalla, but it could be a breakdown. We're going to go over the bullish and the bearish scenarios for you today, and we're going to show you what's likely going to happen based off probability. And we're pretty good here. We do a pretty good job of tracking Bitcoin. And so we're going to be able to be on it for you. We're going to show you the weekly all the way back down, likely to the 1 minute. We might even trade the 1 second chart. You never know what happens here on this channel. Stay on your toes because this channel is never the same any single day of the week. We're going to be changing it up on you, giving you that entertainment, giving you that love, and just giving you that sauce. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. And again, the time has changed, if you've noticed, based off the old times, because America has changed the time. Seemed like it's been fine because we trade the markets. So you got to trade the New York market. So you got to adjust your life basically to the show if you're a market guy. And this is a market show. So I even see some securities, Berkshire A and B, look interesting to me. Shout out to Brian talking about Berkshire today. And we were looking at Berkshire A and B together. The daily looks pretty interesting to me. And this coin, I mean, this stock just keeps, I mean, it's Berkshire Hathaway, right? Warren Buffett. This thing just keeps going up. Like, if you just own this thing, it just pays. It just pays to play. And, you never know. The S&P get a bounce here. And we're going to break down the NASDAQ and the S&P for you, as well as gold today. You're going to get a full-blown analysis that's going to break it down for you. We're going to talk about CPI. It came in hot at 2.8. Actually came in pretty nice. See, the thing is, though, we want this to be going up because we want rate hikes. Right? If we don't get if this doesn't go up, then they could say, hey, we could keep the rates fine or maybe even raise the rates, right? A healthy economy. So core CPI is 0.2. The forecast was 0.3 and the previous was 0.4. So prices are still up. This means prices are up 0.2, but they were up 0.3 previously. Inflation is still going up, but it's not going up as fast as it was before. They're trying to cull it, trying to pull it back, right? So that's what we're seeing here for Bitcoin. But you have CPI month over month, core, and year over year. The 2.8 was pretty strong there after the year over year because it gives, some leeway to Jerome Powell. So we would want that to be at like a 3 or a 3.1. That would have been bearish, right? And again, maybe it would have been a little bit of a pullback, but in the long term would have been better for rate cuts. We didn't get it. Tomorrow we're going to get PPI. We're going to get hammered again, and unemployment claims tomorrow at 8:30. Let me show you what happens at 8:30 in the entire world markets. So if we go to, you go to like the S&P, ES futures, and you go to, and look, we may be getting that bounce. Everyone said we're going lower. I keep saying I think the S&P the charts are conveying to me the S&P could bounce off this inverted head and shoulder back to the upside. I'm the only bull on the S&P. Everyone is so bearish, but only time will tell. We'll see what happens. They are pressing. But right now, if you go to the 1 hour time frame and you go to 8:30, right, that was this candle right here. And I just want you to understand how price action works. 8:30 right there, 8 o'clock, 8:30, 8 to 9, and we got this huge spike to the upside. You go to the 30-minute chart, you'll get the 30, and then you go at 8:30 right there. We got the move to the upside. So right as CPI came in, it came in hot, but it came back down. See, it's bearish for the market. I don't know why there was a spike because it's bearish for the market. You don't want CPI to be going up, to be going down. You want CPI to be going up, so they have to cut the rates. This shows that we may be some trouble in paradise here on the S&P, and we could be making what's called a symmetrical bear flag triangle here, which also kind of looks more like a bear flag. That is a 50-50 pattern, but 90% of the time I've been seeing these break to the downside, specifically for cryptocurrency. We'll get into all that later, but that doesn't look too good for the S&P. All right. And Bitcoin getting crushed on the morning all the way back down to 82,000. No go, no love. I opened up a quick little long here on, what was it on? MEXC on that 30-minute chart. And I just took a couple small losses. You can see here, last trade, 24, 400. Then I took a $100 loss. Then I took a $3 loss there. I like to keep my losses very small and keep it moving, all right? Keep the losses small, my friends. Keep the losses small. Now, if inflation is going down, no, it's not. If CPI goes down, right? CPI goes down. No, think about it. It's not. Do the math, right? Everyone's saying I got it wrong. Lower CPI means higher chance of cutting rates. That doesn't make sense to me, though. Think about it. CPI, Consumer Price Index. The cost of things are going up in value. All right? If the cost of things are going up in value, listen, it means there's too much money in circulation, right? Inflation. So if the cost of things are going up in value and they cut the rates, more people can borrow money, right? Which could basically raise the unemployment rate. So if unemployment is going down, my friends, they're more likely not to cut the rates. You see? So I guess it's more unemployment. For me, it doesn't make any sense. Why, if CPI goes down, right? CPI goes down, and that's bearish for the market. Yeah, I disagree with everybody that's saying that. It doesn't make it. You're not making sense. Think about it. Think about it logically. Just think about it logically. You don't even have to do it. You don't have to listen to anybody else. If they cut the rate, they put more money into circulation. All right. If inflation goes up, if inflation is going up, right, they're going to have to cut the rates. If inflation is going down, why would they cut the rate? Why do they need to cut the rate if inflation is going down? They don't. Yeah. Exactly. A consistent lowering of CPI is the only metric they lower. I see what you're saying. You're thinking, but he hasn't cut the rate yet. So you're saying, oh, we cut the rate, we got the CPI to go down. So we can cut the rate again. We can keep getting the CPI to go down. I guess that's the idea, but it's you know, yeah. The Fed won't cut rates if CPI is going up. CPI needs to be down, unemployment up. Unemployment needs to be going up 100%. Unemployment has to be going up. If unemployment goes up, they're going to cut the rate. You know, I don't know, I've been doing this for 5 years and I haven't been wrong on the market. So you can say whatever you want about me. Low CPI allows them to cut the rates. Yeah, but they want. Yeah. If you had a higher CPI, you would make him cut the rate faster, though. You get it? It would put pressure on. It would put way more pressure because they'd be like, "What are we going to do? If the market's going to get out of control, people can't afford anything, and they have to cut the rate." Understand? I don't know. So it's maybe it's like a metric to their chain a month over month, but yeah. I know what to say, but you're a humble man with a dream. I know. Funny. So here's the deal, right? Every single time, so again, tomorrow unemployment has to be going down, and it has to be going up. I want unemployment to go up. Unemployment has to go up. If you see, but the weird thing is, unemployment went down. Remember 2 weeks ago, and the market pumped. The market pumped on unemployment, which to me made no sense because the market was supposed to dump on unemployment going up. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Exactly. And all you have to do is look at this. Exactly. They won't cut rates if inflation. See, to me, it's the other way around. Why would you not? See, that doesn't make any sense to me. You have to cut rates if inflation goes up. Think about it logically. Do the math. Just do the math. Like, just forget about what anybody told you and look at the actual math. I don't know. My mind is like, I'm not going to, like, I know everyone's like fighting me here, but do the math. Right? What's going on? That's very distracting. Don't do that. Don't do that, please. That's horrible. Don't ever do that again, please. Okay, didn't Trump announce his reserve? And again, another thing you want to do is look at the CME watch tool. That's going to tell you all you need to know, all right, about what they're going to be doing. This has been like dead accurate every single time I've looked at it. It's been about 90% accurate. So if we take a look at the CPI and we go all the way back to, let's say, May, or we go ahead to May, you're going to see, right? There's a chance of a 69% chance, right? But a 30% chance. Now you go to June, that starts to shift. So definitely, they're going to cut the rate. I'm telling you right now, they're going to be cutting rates. Like I'll put my channel on it that they will cut rates, I'd say 2 to 3 times this year. So you can take the data however you want. I can tell you what's likely going to happen in the market. All right. Without throwing off the balance sheet, make it the lower rate so people can be out. Yeah. They don't include government workers in the job loss calculations. Yeah, you won't need a stimulated economy. That's inflating. Exactly. Sam's getting flashed. What does flashed mean? I don't know what that means. Yeah. We need to relax CPI to give room to cut the rates. Overall unemployment needs to be B&E. What does that mean? Yeah. See, my whole thing is this. My whole thing is I've been trading it backwards, been nailing the market. So I don't know. You tell me why. How have I been so accurate if I trade it backwards? Maybe because everyone gets wrecked trading it the wrong way. Maybe that's why. Maybe you don't want to trade it the way everyone else trades it. I don't know. It's so funny to me. I'm the one that catches the short squeeze every day. Yeah. I see more pain in the short term. If the economy is getting better, why cut the rates? Right? Yeah. As JP, core PPI, unemployment, they think that's going to come in at 226. The previous was 221. So only time will tell. We want that. I want that to go up. I want unemployment to go up, right? Stressing the market. So they feel like they have to cut the rate. That's what I know for sure. I want unemployment to go up. And look, producer price per index too. If you're paying more for things, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. Because it allows them to cut the rate without an extreme move. Amen. You really know how to spot the movements and shift fast. That's why you don't get wrecked. Likes up to the watchers. Amen. Yeah. So here's the deal. Every single time they put pressure on the market, they're good. See, but this is the thing. If you go back into when they started this, right? This is when they actually used to change. Before they changed the interest rate, they would actually just take margin calls on the market. So go back all the way to 1929. If you take the science of why this happens, right? Because does everyone know why they have the interest rate? The first reason why they have the interest rate is because they used to call margin loans back, right? They could actually say, hey, that was the stock market of 1929. Once they shifted the market, basically, by creating borrowing rate, they realized they could just change the rates. You understand? Like, this is how they used to do it. They used to basically call in loans. Now they realized they didn't have to call the loans anymore. They could just change the interest rate. And it was the same scenario. I don't know. So basically, the same reason when they raised the rate, I don't know. To me, it makes sense because it comes from the history of how they raised the rates. Inflation coming down, unemployment going up is the perfect mix for rate cuts. Yeah, exactly. Rate cuts heating up the economy with more, 100%. 100%. You know what it is? What's confusing is normally, here's the reason. Normally, you would have CPI going up with inflation, with also unemployment going up. So to me, they can uncorrelate at the same time. But you would want to have CPI. For me, in my humble opinion, when we saw CPI going up, we've had bullish pumps for Bitcoin. You see what I'm saying? Like today, you're not bullish. Why? Because there's no chance of a rate cut when the CPI. That's why Bitcoin's not looking good today. Look at the S&P. Like, think about it. For me, it should be a dumper day. It should be more of a dull day because of CPI. You get it? If this is bullish, then why isn't the market pumping? Understand? Market's not pumping, correct? Amen, right? So if the market's not pumping, because that's bearish news. That's bearish news that you're not going to be getting a rate cut. Understand? I don't know. That's, to me, had that CPI been high, we would have had a huge pump today. You know what I mean? I've seen it 1,000 times. You go watch my show when the CPI comes in and watch what happens. When the CPI is high, Bitcoin pumps. When the CPI is low, Bitcoin dumps. I mean, you go through the correlations and look at it, all right? And the reason is because people believe there's not going to be or going to be a rate cut. It's speculation on the rate cuts, all right? So every time I've seen CPI go up, I've seen Bitcoin go down, right? When I've seen CPI go down, I've seen Bitcoin go down because it makes perfect sense to me. So I don't know. I trade it that way. You guys trade however you want. I seem to make gains doing it every day. So I don't know, exactly. You're right. The market is now different than when we had this in the past. Yeah. I'm just telling you what I see. I don't trade what the rest of the people are telling you. I trade what the market does. Like, if you want to believe what you want, then you're going to trade wrong. Like, basically what you're all saying is that Bitcoin should pump today because it's going to make inflation. They're going to cut the rate. That's not true. That's not what happened, right? I would listen to the dude with more money in the bank, honestly, not to be rude, but why wasn't there rate cuts when CPI was high? Exactly. We're lucky getting back. There were rate cuts when CPI was high 2 years ago. Every time the CPI went on, they had to cut the rate. Like, what do you mean? Like, PPI data will come in tomorrow. Yeah. Most likely a bear market coming. Yeah, there's rate cut, no pause. I see rate cuts coming in after July. All right. It's like tracking the price of V-Bucks in the game to see if the Fortnite is getting more expensive. Exactly. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not defensive. I could care less. I almost lost my life a few times, and I realized you never have to get defensive because what if you die tomorrow? It doesn't really matter, right? Like, no one would remember what the heck I was getting defensive of today. So I don't know. I'm not get defensive. I'm actually just stating, like, I trade it this way, so I don't know. That's how I make money. So I don't know. I've stated it the other way in my mind. That's how I've made money. So either I'm counter trading the entire trend of the market, or I see something no one else sees. I don't know. But for me, I want to see unemployment going up, and that would be bullish for Bitcoin personally in the long term. So I want to see the prices of things going up, right? That's what I want to see. I want to see it getting harder for the average person to hire. I want to see them getting tight. And that way, if it gets so tight that they're going to ruin the economy, they gotta ease it. Doesn't that make sense to me? I don't know, right? Is your green screen off? Maybe it is. I don't know. It's possible. I don't see it though. Maybe. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't think so. No. No, it's not off. I just maybe have the lights on wrong. Yeah. They could stimulate the economy up, cut of the rates, but they need lower inflation CPI. They need lower inflation once they cut the rate to show that the rate cutting is happening. You get it? That's why they do it. So they cut the rate. CPI goes down. They say, look, CPI went down because we cut the rate. Now we can cut the rate again to continue to lower the inflation. You were correct. I think you guys are saying it, but you're saying it after the fact. See, it's a retrospective idea. It's like, okay, but now look, when's the last time he cut the rate? All right. I'm looking for this right shoulder to pump. That's what I'm looking for Caspa here to the upside. If it could follow Bitcoin, we could get a nice little pump here. Caspa getting a beautiful kick off the lows. And there's a chance we did call the bottom here for BTC. All right. Look, this could go all the way up to 8-9. I'm watching Caspa here. Look, inverted headed shoulder for Caspa. And for all the panic sellers, that have been one of the greatest prices for Caspa right there, 5-6 at 0.6%. I'm watching Caspa getting very tight inside of this 45-minute time frame, 1 hour time frame. Watch that right shoulder. You want to see if the 30-minute can hang above this 200 MA. See how we got above the 200 MA on the 30 and the 45-minute time frame? All right. Yeah, we're getting a rate cut. I think we're getting a rate cut soon. I'd say I'm predicting a rate cut comes, I don't know about May, but I say July or August. You know, and it looks like we're going to get 3 rate. I'm going to predict we're getting 3 rate cuts this year. All right, that's what I'm going to predict. You can write it down. Sam predicts 3 rate cuts this year. See, everyone else will argue and say nonsense, but they won't give you that data. Like, I can see it because I've been watching the CME every single week for months, for years now. And I can tell, basically, they've been pretty spot on. Haven't been wrong, man. So when I see the shift in sentiment, you know, again, we could get a black swan and things could shift, but right now you can see we're shifting towards rate cuts. Right. And that would tell me that that Bitcoin has likely bottomed. But we're going to take a look at that. Has Bitcoin bottomed? That's what everybody wants to know. Has Bitcoin bottomed? I bought the bottom, and I'll tell you why. I buy whenever the fear and greed index gets to 10, and this was at a screaming 10. It's like you have to get it, right? You have to get it. Yeah, exactly. So right here, 10, man. When this gets to 10, it's a buy. If you don't buy 10, then you know what I mean? It's just, you know, you gotta buy 10. You gotta buy 10. So again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice, but that was a guaranteed buy there. Whenever the fear and greed index gets to 10, I have to buy it. It's never hurt me to buy 10. Every single time in my life I bought 10, it's been a good look. It's paid me very, very well. So 10 is a beautiful place when the fear and greed index. And then I also look at, you know, the weekly. If the weekly's low, you've got bullish divergence and all sorts of other nonsense, then, you know, right? Anyway, I would say that today, because of CPI going down, that would be bearish for Bitcoin because it would tell you that they're, you know, anyway, but you guys look at it differently. I don't know why. Right now, you can see Bitcoin dumping. So exactly what I'm telling you is correct. I've been saying it like this for years. I don't know why today everyone else all of a sudden switched on me, right? Get your mind right. Get your grind right. 100%, man. Yeah. But at a discount, that's a pretty good deal long term. 100%. I firmly agree with you on that statement. So let's take a look at the weekly here for BTC. All right, and take a look. If CPI was high, we would have had a nice pump today. But CPI was not high. It was bad for Bitcoin. All right. So take a look here. The weekly. We need the weekly to close a tweezer candle. Basically, these two wicks have to be next to each other on this bottom to get a beautiful break to the upside. That's what we're looking for. We call it tweezer bottoms for the weekly. If that doesn't close as such, we are going to be in for some bearishness. If this closes a red candle, no good. Like basically the bulls are clinging to the fact. What's this blood moon? Just a moon. You know, it's a blood moon. It's going to be a big red blood moon. But so there's a very oversold, wick that has to close on the weekly. Basically, Sunday night, we need this to close green. It was nicer just a little while ago, right? And you can see, look, Bitcoin is dumping on high CPI, on low CPI. If CPI was high, Bitcoin would be pumping. I've seen it 1,000 times. I don't know. You tell me. Why does Bitcoin pump when the CPI data is high then? Because people know when the CPI data is high that they're going to have to cut the rate. You see, it puts pressure on the Fed to cut the rate. If unemployment goes up, it puts pressure on the Fed to cut the rate. Right? I don't know. For me, that's how I looked at it, and it's always been core. That's how the market has moved. If it was the other way around, then how come Bitcoin doesn't pump? Shouldn't Bitcoin pump today? If you guys are correct in CPI, I'm just going over the math. I'm going to ask you guys, why didn't Bitcoin pump today then? All right? Yeah, exactly. Because it's sell the news. Yeah, right. Come on, man. Exactly. Nah, but on good CPI data, I think should have kept pumping hard, man. It shouldn't just peaked and gone down, right? Exactly. You need cheap money, baby. Exactly. That's how I trade it. You can say that's not how it works, but that's how I trade it. That's how I trade it. So maybe you trade it differently than the logistical ideas of it, but that's how I trade it. And it works for me. When I see low CPI, I know that I should short Bitcoin. When I see high CPI, I should long Bitcoin. Anyway, it's worked out for me for a long time. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, because this should pump the DXY. Am I correct? And if this pumps the DXY would be pumping today, right? And it is. Of course it is. Why? And why do I know that? Because people are going to flock into the dollar, right? Now, look, we get a rejection here. We could get a reversal today, too, based on... But look, we did get a spike in the DXY today, which we should have, right? We should have got a pump in the DXY. Now, let's see if this can eventually give us a bigger move in the long term for Bitcoin. Because now what this is telling me is there are going to be rate cuts. There's going to be rate cuts. You see what I'm saying? There's going to be rate cuts in the next 3 to 4, 6 months, regardless of today's CPI data. So here you have hidden bullish divergence on the weekly. That's telling us that we're likely going to go further to the upside. Hidden bullish divergence. Let's pull a Fibonacci on that too as well. And I'll show this every single day. I'm telling you right now, this is one of my tried and true strategies. I've traded Aave like this in 2019. I traded Cake like this back in 2018. I found hidden bullish divergences after major pumps. They came back down to key levels, and I was able to make beautiful buys in the long term that paid off very, very, very well. I've done this, I think, over 100 times on macro assets. Like I put in a lot of money at this exact model. So if Bitcoin doesn't pump here, so be it. It does have some leeway. The hidden bullish can get all the way back down to the 76. Like we could get back to 73,000. It could still be valid. But the idea is you're very oversold in the stochastic. You got rising RSI. You got lower RSI. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, baby. Yeah. Thank you. So she hands me the kitty. Like, what if I was like, hey, everybody, welcome to the micro. My little kids, man. So this is hidden bullish divergence telling us we're going to get a nice, beautiful bounce to the upside. We have a resistance at $104.700, $781, right? Bang. You crack that, whatever. But now, when we get there, this key level will be huge. We get back above 93.5, and it would be kind of like a rejoicement moment. This looks to me like it could be making a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder that could go further to the upside. You see what I'm saying? And the target would take us to $131,000 for Bitcoin. All right. You could give us a trade. Thank you in advance. Really enjoy the stream, and thank you for everything you give us. God bless you. Thank you. Because any moment you're going to write a post and everything will hit the trail. You're funny, right? Yeah. Okay, you just said it was bearish. Who did? I have no idea what's going to happen to price action, number one. All right, I take it one day at a time. So I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance, 100%. All right. So look, we pump back into the 618.65 Fibonacci. We bounce. That's just, that's a coincidence, right? And there's no such thing as a coincidence in trading. So hidden bullish divergence, low stochastic on the weekly. That tells me that there's some type of reversal brewing here for Bitcoin. That doesn't mean it's guaranteed, but it's telling me there's some type of reversal brewing. All right, that if we did reverse, that's how every reversal I've ever seen has played out over time. All right. Then you have this falling wedge, right? Falling wedges break up 68% of the time. This comes all the way up back to about 114,000, 121. All right. Exactly. Do you have any pants on? I have pants on. Yes. Dude, we went from 83,000 to 81.8, dude. Bitcoin dumped. It didn't pump on CPI data today. All right. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Like, you know, we'll see what happens now. Then there's a macro. Bitcoin can do whatever it wants, regardless of CPI and API data. Like, if I see hidden bullish divergence or daily div, so that's why I don't really go, you know, the news is cool, but we're traders here. We go by the charts. Whatever the charts tell me, I do. I don't go by everything else. You know, there's good speculative things. You can go by all that data, but someone's going to circumvent a market maker. Someone's going to do this. Then they're going to tell you this. They're going to play you. You got to do the charts. The charts are going to tell you what's likely going to happen. You know what I mean? Thank you, Sam, for opposing. I just look at it differently. That being said, what you have done over the last 1.5 years for my trading career cannot be understated. Thanks for everything. Yeah. Traditionally, it's correct what you're saying. What everyone's saying traditionally is correct. Like, the math is right. Fed's fund rate. I'm just telling you how I traded on that day has been slightly, maybe in the next 3 weeks, 100%. Like, you're going to see a correlation. But on today, I didn't see it. Why is Bitcoin, if everyone was right, where's the pump for Bitcoin then? That's all I got to say, and I'll leave it at that, right? So maybe I'm looking at the actual temperamental movement of Bitcoin at the moment of price action and news. You know, over time, fine, yeah. But I look at it exactly as I look at it when I see it. So hidden bullish divergence on the 3-day chart, very bullish too as well. That's bullish. And then you have bullish divergence on the daily time frame. The daily time frame is pushing to the upside. Price action pushing to the downside. That's also a bullish sign. However, we're below the 200 MA on the daily. See what I'm saying? Like, CPI or no CPI, when I'm below the 200 MA on the daily, I don't care. Like, look at this. Every time an asset has been below the 200 MA, we've dumped. Was there good CPI, bad CPI? Who knows? It doesn't matter. We closed the candle below the 200 MA. We dumped. If you stop looking at the news and start looking at the charts and get yourself focused, you're going to make way more money. All right. Even the argument, whatever, the back and forth we just had, it's pointless because it's about focusing on the charts. You got to stay on the charts. CPI, it's actually a really good lesson of what would just happen because you could sit there and do CPI, PPI, I earlier said if the 15-minute loses the 200 MA, we're bearish. That closes the candle below that yellow line. We're bearish. I don't care what, you know what I mean? And anyway, all I know is I would have liked the economy to look worse. The worse the economy, the more pressure that he has to cut the rate. That's how I look at it. You could take any data you want. I want the economy to look bad. I want people to be stressed out. I want them to say, hey, it's not looking good. So Jerome Powell has to cut the rate, right? Therefore, it'll be good for risk on assets and help Bitcoin pump. So you could say whatever you want to us about CPI and PPI. If the economy looked great today and things were going awesome, right? Then I guess what you're all saying. The economy looked great because CPI was down, right? But it's up still. See, it's down comparative in the forecast, but it's up. I'm going to explain what just happened here because I figured it out. Why we had like this back and forth. CPI is still up. Understand? And I know I'm going to leave this alone at one point, but yeah, because this makes sense. So CPI is still up. People are still paying more than they were year over year. Understand? That's not good. That means the economy is going up, which could help rate hikes. But it is lower than it was last month, and it was lower than it was last year, which is bullish for the economy, which says, okay, you know what I mean? But it just, you know what I mean? Look, it's still up 0.2. All right, people are still paying more than they were, okay, year over year. It's just less than the last previous year than they were paying. That's still good for rate hike. That's still somewhat good for rate hikes because you say, hey, they're still paying more. Right? So Bitcoin dumping today, not looking too good. Look at this, kind of a shoulder ahead and a right shoulder. Earlier today, I was in this right shoulder for a move to the upside. See this right shoulder? We did get a nice little pump, but now kind of lackluster for BTC. Let's get back to the daily time frame. So the daily, Yeah. So the daily is in bullish divergence, but has to get back above the 200 MA. If you can't get back above this, so I'm a bear until we can get back above literally 84K, until we can get back above this yellow line. You have to get above it. We were slightly above it. Things were looking somewhat bullish today. But then CPI came in and dumped the mark. What you guys said was bullish. I don't know if I can put it. So anyway, we're starting to come down now, right? Off of bearish CPI data. So we're dumping on bullish CPI data. I don't know, right? Lifers, why, if WIF dead forever, probably, yeah. I would give up on it if I were you. But you do whatever makes you happy, man. Exactly. So if this can crack, boom, and then we can come all the way up to 93,800 for Bitcoin. You got to cross that 200 MA to be bullish. If you can't cross the 200 MA, expect more downside for BTC, all right? You got to get back above the 200 MA to remain bullish for Bitcoin. That's going to be a key level on the daily time frame. If we're not above it, I will not flip bullish. Like, you know, I'll trade a little bit and I'll say, hey, possible reversal. But the big key is we got to get back above that. Crucial times for Bitcoin at these prices, 81,700. We just took a beat down here on speculative data, however you want to call it, and it did move the market somewhat bearish. All right. So look, resistance too here. I mean, right where this candle came in, boom. Heavy resistance at 83,500 for Bitcoin. So we wicked to 83.5. We punched up to the 200 MA on the daily. We got the love and to no avail, right? It just, it did not want to hold that key level. It said nay. And this is this broadening falling wedge that I have for Bitcoin, which is a more bullish sign than bearish. But we got to make our moves back to the upside. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour is on the 21-day moving average, but a little overbought on the stochastics RSI. And so we're looking for this to make an inverted head and shoulder here to break us to the upside too as well, right? Shoulder, head, somewhat of a right shoulder, bounces to the upside. I like that we're on the 21-day moving average. Bearish div on the 1 hour time frame as this swung up. And this kind of swung down or flat on the RSI, telling you that we're likely going to get a bit of a pullback here for BTC. So now look, shoulder, look, that's a head and shoulder pattern. You see it? Shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline to the downside, dumpage, bit of a bear flag here. So I got to tell you, Bitcoin back towards that 200 MA, and there's a chance you can open up this same head short like we did the other day. So let's go over to weeks, perpetual. All right. And I'm going to just adjust this. Again, remember, every time the daily gets close to the 200 MA, it gives you a bullish idea that we could break it. But every time I get rejected by the 200 MA, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to do it right now, but just because we have PPI tomorrow, which has me stressed. But look, if we get back above the yellow line, bullish, right? But as long as you stay below it, bearish. You know how many times I've just opened trades with a stop on the other side of the yellow line? Simple stuff, right? And again, there is that bullish divvy, but a head short can't hurt like 400 for 16, something like that. Worst comes to worst, we could trade the money back up, break even, and then flip long, right? You want to see this flip back above to the upside. I'm thinking of the head short right now, but my instincts are telling me to hold off on the head short. Just because we have strong bullish divergence on the daily time frame, and there's a chance we could get that bounce. But I mean, this looks bearish. So kind of shoulder, head, right shoulder. Things were looking bullish. We had this bull flag, got a dip, started to get the pump, and as the morning started, we were bumping. I had called the long out this flag. It's still bullish. You're still in the long if you got in right there, but I took profits. It wasn't a huge gain though. Basically sideways for most of the morning. So shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? That looks like it's going to go further to the downside for BTC. I mean, I would call that, and this is a rising wedge that wants to break to the downside, and it also looks kind of like a bear flag, right? And you almost could take the length of this pole, which tells you could break to the downside. So that's a bear flag too for BTC. I don't know. Bitcoin looks a little bearish to me right now. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame if there's anything. So right now we're struggling to hold this trend line. And to hold, you know, I feel like we almost lost the trend line. See that? Like we're outside of it right now. And then we're coming closer to the 200 MA right there on the 15-minute time frame. If you lose the 200 MA, you're going to drop. Very likely. And look, I do see this kind of as a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder with a measured move from the neckline to the head, which would be like basically this line there. And it suggests that we could go lower, somewhere at least down to this low, and maybe all the way back down to the previous low of the divergence at about 76,900. You do have some liquidity there at 79.5. You got gaps in the VRVP, so you boom. You know, you'd move pretty quick to 81.5, pretty quick to 79,000. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP and see what BOOKMAP suggests. BOOKMAP has data on either side. Okay. Love this. Can't figure out how to restore this 200K wallet. My bits got a lead. My bits, right? Wow. I hope you restore that wallet. I hope everything goes well for you. Sad to say. 81,000 is the biggest red area for Bitcoin, suggesting that we go lower right now, right? It suggests we go lower and then maybe all the way back down to $72,000. I'll tell you, if you can't get back above the daily 200 MA, I remain a bear. The second we get back above that, it would tell me to flip bullish. But until then, I just can't see the reason to flip bullish. I'm currently short on Farcoin. Yeah. I'm hedge funny Bitcoin, hold both positions, not taking any profits. I'm building my block at higher levels and collecting fees on accumulate more BTC. Okay. Some people do that, right? You can hedge the short, you break even, and you collect the fees on the funding rate. Pretty interesting idea. I've conceptualized it a few times, but never actually sat down and did the calculations to get it done, right? So, yeah, we fell out the 5-minute loss to 200 MA, which is a bearish sign for me for BTC. So right now it suggests, BOOKMAP suggests that the closest area is 81,000, suggesting that we will go and revisit 81K. All right. So bang, boom. You don't want to lose the 200 MA on the 15-minute time frame. In my humble opinion, you already basically lost this trend line. Bounce, bounce, bounce. You've lost the trend line. That's bearish to me. And it tells me that we're going to get this looks like it's going to dump. So I see 81K for Bitcoin, possibly 79,500, right? Yeah, 80,693. So I see more downside for BTC at the present moment in time. 5-minute loss to 200 MA as well. And right now I'm not in a trade, right? I'm just kind of sitting in limbo. I don't like to short as much, but if I have to short, I will. I'll do whatever I have to do to make the gain. But today looks pretty whack. I don't usually like to trade between PPI or between CPI and PPI. It's not the best look, right? Man, I knew Redstone had something going on, and I was looking at it last night. I said, look at that flag. And then they dolphin dipped it and ripped this thing. But this has been on my radar. Redstone. I don't know. It was also, who was also looking at it was Token Metrics. Put it on my radar. Oh, some coins are pumping somehow anyway. What is this? God. Oh, yeah, this got guaranteed. I don't even know what this thing is. I heard about it just a week ago. Anyway, we'll get back to Bitcoin. Crazy charts. So, yeah, I mean, BTC fell out the rising wedge. Look, rising wedges break down 68% of the time. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. We were looking for this shoulder, head, right shoulder to play out. It did not. We did get the pump. Enough to move stop loss to break even. And if you were with me last night, we got in right in these flags, somewhere in that flag there. So, Bitcoin. Oh, no, here. On the 15-minute flag. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, that was March 10th, the 12th. We bounced off this here. See this inverted head and shoulder? I traded this right shoulder yesterday. This is basically what we were watching. And I said symmetrical triangles break down. I said, this is the first time we finally got a symmetrical triangle to break to the upside in a long time. But shoulder, head, right shoulder there, and we broke out, right? And again, above the 200 MA on the 15-minute. I love when we get above the 200 and we got the move. This looks like it's going to head to the 200 and possibly break it. 81,005 is barely holding. That's going to be a key level to hold. See right now. So between CPI and PPI, you have treacherous price action. And it's usually side. I wouldn't be surprised if we just kind of like we range in between a bigger zone, like a small, basically between this high at 84.4 and maybe somewhere this low at about 79,000. We kind of just range here in this area up until we have PPI tomorrow, right? So you look at this, the forecast and the suggestion for PPI, and it's saying, hey, you know, forecast is 0.3. All right, core PPI 0.3, and unemployment, they think it's going to be higher. They think unemployment will be higher, right? So you do want unemployment to continue to go up. I'd like unemployment to go up, all right? If that goes up, that's better off in the long term. In the short term, it's not good for the market, but in the long term, it's better off for rate cut, all right? That we can all agree on, right? We can all agree on this. Everybody, that if unemployment goes up tomorrow, that is a more bullish sign for Bitcoin. Agreed? In the long term. And short term, it might hurt the market. It might create a bearish sentiment, but in the long term, right? Bang, right? Shout out to Master Friend in the house. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Shout out to Rintid Tin. Shout out to Bellico X. Shout out to Mayan Muhammad Naon. Shout out to Crypto Weirdo. Shout out to Cliffy G. Nikoka 83. Jennifer Moffitt. Jennifer, we love you. Thank you. Shout out to Christian Mindset. Yeah. Not for people who are unemployed. I know, right? Yeah. My goal currently for Bitcoin is to collect more Bitcoin or liquidity and put it away for future finance because you always have spending. You're funny. I love that. Oh, well, I'm still going to hold and be positive. Bitcoin never falls. The graph shows the truth. Oh, man. Prepared to short 84.5, but got into it late, so was hoping for a double top confirm. Well, would have, should have, could have. It is what it is now, right? Yeah. So we'll see what happens tomorrow with the data. But it definitely puts pressure on the market. All right. Nice little spike here. So here's the deal. If the 15-minute never loses the 200 MA, I'll stay bullish for the rest of the day. So I'm a bear because we're below the daily 200 MA. But in the short term, as long as we can hold above this 15-minute 200, there's no reason to short the market. The 15-minute loses this, that's when I'll begin to find bear flags and begin to, maybe look for a daily short. But even then, I don't know. Even though it's Wednesday, as I told you, I don't like to trade in between CPI and PPI generally. A lot of days I'll just leave the market alone. You know what I mean? Specifically because we had a really good week last week too as well. No, do not give your gains back. Last week, the gains I'm still fuming off the gains from that Sunday pump, the Monday dump, then the Tuesday pump. We had so much volatility. It was just amazing. And you know me, I just wait for us to cross the 200 MA and then I make longs. They did that 2-3 times in the week. So I got these massive pumps for my strategy played out 3 times in a row. And I went ham on it because I go ham when I see that. And so I was able, because see, my strategy is when we get back above the 200 MA, we get the pump. That happens every time we get volatility because they dump us, we get back above, they pump us. Like right here, they dumped us. We got the volatility, we got the cross. I got my strategy. See, I need volatility to get my strategy in and I need the movement of the market. That's why it specifically works the best Monday night through Thursday, because I got to get that price action. I can't have flat volume price action to get volatility, and volatility is how my model is based off volatility. Same thing, Master Friend. I mean, your model should be based off volatility. If your model is based off of lackluster volume, then it's only going to happen here and there. You want your volume, your model should be accelerated by volatility, so you only take your model in heavy volatility. Does that make sense? It's kind of like a snake biting its tail. It's a Nietzsche idea. All right, it's a philosophy of a philosophy. All right. Shout out to Bullish on Parade. Shout out to CC Gee. Shout out to Tradfly. Shout out to Batman. Shout out to Nick Giacaruso. Sam puts his leg on, but once his pants are on, he makes golden trades. You're funny, man. If they tell you bear market, who's going to buy? Bet on crypto exchanges. Who's going to watch? They watch to say here and milk you. I don't do that. Honestly, God will take care of me. You see, that's the thing. It's funny. I think you probably agree with that. See, I'm a motivational speaker. I motivate people to push themselves in the bear markets. My trading group doubled in the bear market. And I told everyone we were going into a bear market, let's trade it short. So I don't need the market to pump to keep my channel alive. I just need the market to move. If we turn into a nasty bear market right now, my trading group will double up. Everyone that got wrecked will say, I need the information. This guy was there. He said it was going to go down. He gave us all that information and I didn't listen. So every time the market dumps, people join my trading group. You see what I'm saying? I get a bunch of people to join the trading group. So my business does well when the market dumps. Because I'm not a shiller. If I was just a VIP, join my VIP Patreon, we 400x Griffin, you know what I mean? Buy this and that, then yes. Then but that's not the case. I'm a trader. I teach people how to trade the market. Understand? Yeah. March Madness, baby. Red Storm, Queens, let's go. Dude, Queens, baby. Big East tournament today. Big East tournament today. I believe St. John's plays at 2 o'clock. Huge game, man. Huge game, right? So I have decoupled my entire channel from the Bitcoin markets. Like, we make money no matter what. We stay positive no matter what. We push forward no matter what. It doesn't matter what the market's doing. It doesn't matter what the market's doing. Honestly, this channel is even better when the market's, because that's when you have to dig deep to really find a positive way. When you're, can you go to the park with your kids and be super happy when your account's down $500,000? You know what I mean? That's the true thing. Like, can you not be a crab around your family just because you're down a few $100,000? Can you still say, God, thank you for my life and everything in it? You see what I mean? Are you still appreciative of everything you have, even when the market stinks? Because the person that can do that is the person that can persevere almost anything. And it's about having your mindset focused and ready for any single situation that comes at you. The person that can turn every negative into a positive is the person that's always in a positive space. It doesn't mean you don't live in fear. It doesn't mean I don't get flustered. It means when I do, I find a way to get over it real fast. And I find a solution to push. You know, I was listening to Jim Rohn today. He talked about fear. He talked about how fear creates that inability to move. And what is fear? You know, fear is that idea to make you think that something could hurt you. You know, it could be used at the right in certain times, but for the most part, it doesn't. Like in trading, you could lose a trade, so you don't open a trade because you could lose. So then you'll just never trade. You'll sit in fear. You won't be able to actually make the trade. And he talked about you got to take action. He says, once you take action, you've defied fear. He said, you can't be in fear and take action at the same time. So just take action, right? You open up the trade. Are you afraid it could lose? Maybe, but you're not, you know, you're willing to take the chance when you do it. Now, you know, and every single time you go against fear, you actually strengthen your habitual habit, like to actually not listen to fear. So successful people, really, the difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person, generally speaking, is one is letting fear control their life. The other is finding simple ways to use fear to find a motivational way around it. And then think about it. Fear was just the thing telling you what to do. Uncomfortability is where you shine. It was uncomfortable when I went online today and we discussed CPI, and I may have been slightly wrong, right? That's uncomfortable, okay? Nobody wants to look like an idiot. Everyone wants to look like the smartest person in the room, but the key is to be vulnerable in front of people. If you can be vulnerable and be truthful in front of others, you can gain their respect and their love, all right? And that's something that you can't really fake, because a shady person never wants to show their cards. A shady person never wants to be vulnerable. They want to show that they're in power because they're manipulating you with that. I'm willing to lay down the law and tell you that sometimes I don't get it. Sometimes I'm not the smartest guy in the room. Sometimes, but I don't have to be. I learned from Jim Rohn that the smartest people aren't the most successful. They aren't. It's the most consistent. Heck, you might know CPI better than me, but I'll trade it better than you. I'll make more money off it than you. You might be smarter than me. I'm richer than you. You see what I'm saying? There's so many people smarter than me, but they're not more successful than me. Amen. Why? Because I figured out how to be more consistent than they are. If you're more consistent than the rest of the world, you will reap the benefits that the rest of the world is unable to reap. There is so much money waiting for the consistent person. Amen. The talented and the most intelligent are not the most successful. You can be the smartest guy in the room. Heck, there's traders way better than me. They figure out their fibs. They have risk management. They figure out so much more than I do. But they're not consistent. They can't trade consistently. They trade good for a month. Then they get depressed. Then their girlfriend breaks up with them. You know, then they start another job. Then they've got 5 different things. They're running 5. They start 5 different companies at once. They can't focus on one. Nothing seems to go their way. Why? Because they can't focus on one thing. All right. So based on CPI data, to me, it looked bearish. Because to me, it puts, you know, it doesn't put pressure on the Fed. You guys say it's different, but I'm telling you, I see bearish. If we lose this 200 MA, then we're going likely further to the downside. The head short on the daily does look likely to me, right? And so, man, that doesn't look good. You know. Do you ever change it up and do some guest speakers and such? That would be fun. Every once in a while, yes, we do have different people on the stream. 100%. Yeah, we do. So the more you can cultivate a winner mindset, the more you can push yourself through the hardest. And then let's get back to this. What is fear? Fear is telling you what's uncomfortable, right? People want to work out. They have fear of going to the gym and have everyone looking at them, right? So they think they care what people think about them, number one, which stops them from going to the gym. Nobody cares about you, man. My whole point, you go into that gym, you work out, maybe someone snickered. Who cares? Who cares? So forget what people think about you, number one. Pointless. All right, look, the 5-minute loss to 200 May, that's a bear signal for me. So that's why I'm not in a long right now. And then it almost looks like a bearish retest of the key level too. It got it back inside the pattern, then dropped out the pattern. It's attempting a double bottom there, but no go, man. No go. So I saw the CPI data and it told me, so you guys would have saw the CPI data and you would have long Bitcoin and you all would have got wrecked. I would have shorted Bitcoin and made gains. So anyway, so I see it differently, but I trade it right. Maybe, so I don't know, maybe you want to keep coming back to the channel because, yeah, exactly. I'm up on the shorts. Let's go. Amen. You ever talk to the guy for Critical University? I think between him and you would be golly. He trades a lot like me. I wonder if my mentor learned from him because I don't know where my mentor got his information, right? You don't know. I think he got some of his stuff from Timothy Sykes. I guess I trade similar to Timothy Sykes somewhat because I heard my mentor, took one of his courses. But there's a chance, I do use moving averages. I use the RSI. I use the Stokes. I've watched a few of his videos. I watch 1 or 2 of his videos a month. I can't watch a lot of other people's videos because I get influenced by even one video, and I like to have my own TA. And so I stay away from other people's technical analysis because it just gets in my head. Look, that's bearish div there too. I mean, that's a rising wedge, man. Dang, man, that's bearish. You lose the 200 May right there. That's a bearish sign that Bitcoin's going to drop even more further to the downside, right? What's your measured move? Like I'm going to look at like an M with a higher high there, right? And this told me this is going to drop somewhere down to about 78,276. Yeah. Maybe it is sell the news. So maybe you're right. Maybe the news gets sold. Maybe that's why I'm right on it. So the data is correct. You guys are right on the data, but people sell the news every time that I could. So it's a directly correlated move. See, the charts have told me the opposite because that's how the charts have played out. Understand? Yeah. Making a hidden bullish div on the 15-minute. You guys are the only two people that do the same thing I've been doing. I watch anyone other than you two. It messes with my TA. So I stick to both of you and then pop in to see George Hopium someone. Amen. Yeah. Sam, what's the best MA to use of the 15 and the 1 hour? The 200 and the 21. All right. I rock to myself with the smartest and most talented people I know. I'm very comfortable having challenging conversations. Amen. Yeah. I always watch this channel for keynotes I'm missing while I'm always backtesting and trading. God bless you. Thank you. That makes me feel really good that you look. That means I catch things that you need to see. And look at this. I mean, we are dumping on bearish CPI data because the data, again, I guess now I'm going to get yelled at, but if the data if the CPI went down, it tells me that the rate, they're not going to cut the rate, which tells me it's bad for risk on assets, right? So based on what I saw in the data, it told me we should have a bearish day, and we are having a bearish day. I haven't changed how I've been doing that for the last 3 years. It's funny, today is the first day anyone tried to call me out on it because this is how I've been trading it every single time. Yeah. This channel keeps me centered. Yeah, so I'm not in a long or a short. I was in a very tiny long, a very, very small long. That got hit off. I tried the 30-minute chart. Let's take a look. I like to show my losses because it's good to show losses, right? But yeah, so I took a $300 loss there this morning trying to clip this 30-minute here. You see? Trying to clip the 30-minute from the 200 MA because that's one of my signals. The 21 was coming. We were above the 30-minute. A lot of times that's a good pump, but CPI data came in and sniped me, right? So below the 200 MA right there too, not a good look. Again, don't keep the light. I don't lose thousands of dollars. If I lose $300, then we reconvene. Right there, if that closes below, I mean, it tells me to open up a short and go short. Wow, nasty. Right? And it all starts when you lose the 200 MA on the 1 minute time frame. That's how it begins right there. That's a bear signal for me. Look, it kind of made a shoulder, head, right shoulder too, even, So look, I started in this little, and again, another cool thing is I started in this flag. If that flag had, that's why I love my bull flags. You go back in time and watch the 1 minute time frame. The 1 minute told you what was going to happen. 1 minute made a cool little flag, right? That looked bullish. I've seen that bounce many times off the bottom trend line, get tight, and then boom. So had price action bounced here and got tight, right about there, I would have long. See, I wait for the last possible second. That's why most of my entries are just spot on. I would have got in right there and nailed it. Didn't happen, right? It eventually started, it lost the trend line here, which told me that we didn't make the flag. The flag needed that consolidated piece in the last part of the flag. So flags are great because they tell you what to do. If this flag had played out, we would have traded it. It didn't, so you didn't trade it. You get it? Man, it almost made a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder saying we're done. Then we lost the 200 MA, which I know is a bearish signal. Every time the 1 minute loses the 200 MA, we get a nasty dump to the downside. That's exactly what happened here for Bitcoin. Yeah. I got in 2 seconds early there. Amen. I need to buy a truck for my pool business. Come on, market. You don't need anything. God has given you everything you needed. There's someone out there with a truck that might let you borrow it. What you need to do right now is close your mind and meditate on a truck coming into your life. You could say in some way, shape, or form in the next 2 weeks, the right truck is going to come into my life in the right way. You say that every single night. You write it down. I almost am positive in 2 weeks, the right truck will come into your life in some way, shape, or form. I'm telling you right now, it will happen. You will create the reality for it to happen, and you will formulate the process for it to be created through quantum theory. That's quantum. We live in a quantum universe. Your thoughts will pull in what you're thinking of. The more you think about something, the more it will be entered into your life. Understand? If you think about pain and scarcity, you will live a life of pain and scarcity. If you think about abundance and love and success, you will live a life full of abundance, love, and success. See, if you know God is a big loving God, it's easy to think that you're loved by a big loving being. If you're loved by a big loving being, don't you think it's easier to love other people and to think positively? And if you think positively, don't you think it's better off that you're going to have a better life? So therefore, believing in God internally helps you have a better life because for me, it philosophizes the idea that you're loved. And when you're loved, you can love others. And so I know that God loves me. How come I have such a great life? How come all the things that I desired, I started with 3 people on my channel, 3 subscribers, man, And then once you get to 10, 20,000 subscribers after years of work, then people just said, hey, I'd like to work with you. And people start actually taking an interest. But before that, nobody cares about you. Nobody wants to help you. Nobody wants to, edit your videos or do any of the stuff for you or do your timestamps like Sean's doing for me. You see, now I got people doing my timestamps. I got operational manager organizing things for me. Like my wife is on it. But my wife used to laugh at my channel when it had 8,000 subscribers. She used to think it was cute, she said, that I was doing something at least. She said, you were so depressed and you had lost your job. She said, and you were in the crypto bear market. She said, I figured you'd do something to make you happy because I was worried about your mental health. And so, right. Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, man, that CPI data needed to come in bearish as heck, and it came in. It wasn't what we wanted it to be, man. The DXY dumping as well. Look at that. With BTC now, you gotta hope Bitcoin get a bounce here to the upside. I'm gonna redo Bitcoin right now. I need to look at it again, fresh. I just want to So here's the deal. Below the 200 MA, I'm a bear, right? I say that every time. So the cool thing about this channel is we don't flip either, right? You'll hear the same stuff from me every single day, every single time. So I've learned bullish divergence is only as strong as the previous support is resistance. Previous support becomes resistance right there. Then you got a bull div right here, okay? Bullish divergence. But I've never seen bullish div with this big spike up in it. And then I've never seen that. That's a bit odd. That's a bit odd for me. And then this wick down, that's kind of strange. Almost tells me could be that, and then there's no divergence, So yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Given that alpha aptitude of gratitude combined with the connection to God to visualize your dreams and beliefs into reality. Amen. Exactly. I think a lot of uncertainty until we see what the tariffs do. We won't see any data for the coming months. Yeah, there's definitely uncertainty. Anytime you have economic variable, which is not a control inside of a data, a scientific data set, you're going to have that inference of uncomfortability. And so that's definitely what we're going to see, with the tariffs. I'm optimistic, but I'm generally optimistic. So I'm more optimistic than the average person that things could be going all right. You know what's interesting? I never even thought about this. This could honestly be a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. It's far-fetched. But, you got a shoulder, you got a bit of a head and a right shoulder. Man. So based on, for me, the way I interpreted the data, which I guess is wrong compared to the rest of the world, but I don't care because it works for me, so I'm pretty happy. But the way I interpret the data was CPI went down, and that makes it so the Fed won't cut the rate. And if the Fed won't cut the rate because they think everything's going dandy and the market's strong, then we're not going to get risk on assets to pump, and people aren't going to throw money into the stock market like animals, right? So this told me that we should get a dump today based on what I saw, but everyone told me I was wrong. I don't know. And I'm not trying to be right or wrong. I guess I traded against the grain. I don't know. All right. But if you come to my channel every day and you see CPI going up, right? I'm gonna be like, oh word, we should get a pump for Bitcoin now, because that's gonna put, if we see CPI going down, we should be getting a dump for Bitcoin. So exactly what I thought would happen is happening, based off the data, right? And the 30-minute got rejected by that 200 MA. Man, we were getting up there. We were starting to pump. Things were looking good until that CPI data came in. Right there. All right. Low CPI means cut the rates. You guys are funny, man. I'm not going to listen. Yeah. I think you're right on that. They're trying to draw. Yeah. And Joe Alfio says, Sam, you are 100% right. Amen. Hey. I'm not trying to be right. If you come to my channel and you watch it the last 2 years, the data tells us that's what happens. I don't know. Like, you get it? We could literally go to we could take every CPI data a day. We could go find my live streams and we could go play those, right? Shouts on the Dow. I used to do the Dow every day on the channel. I haven't done the Dow in a long time. Interesting that you said the Dow, right? So look, this is oh, look, here we go. I got it. So symmetrical triangle. They're 50-50 patterns. They break up or down. They're bullish when you're in a beautiful uptrend, but when you come into them like this, they can be somewhat bearish. Sammy, can you look at the curtains and find H&R patterns and can find a pattern like a ball? Shout out to Crypto Billy, man. Pump incoming. Someone says pump incoming. I didn't say that. I read the it's funny. I might say something, right? And I'm reading the comment. What if someone comes in, someone watches, they're not reading the comment section, and I go pump incoming. I'm reading the comments, and then they pump out, and they're like, the lifer said a pump was incoming. It's funny, right? That has to happen to me. Someone will take a piece of the stream and think that's what I'm saying, right? It's simple. High is bullish when rates are already high. Amen. Yeah. He nailed it. See, this guy got you. High CPI is bullish when rates are already high. He nailed it. See, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. It's funny. Everyone sits here and we had like the funny little discourse this morning, right? But I'm the guy that puts the money in and makes the money with it. You know what I mean? I'm the guy that makes the money off the data. Everyone else speculates, but do you put your money down? So you might be right, but you brokey. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? But it's just like, I could be wrong and still making money on the trade. So who's right? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter, right? If I'm paying my bills with the data, then I'm using the data correctly. Understood? Amen. 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 Follow the money, man. They always told you that anyway, right? So look, so that's break it down, man. That tells me that I could put a stop on the other side of that 30-minute and likely get some love here. So the 15-minute now is closed a candle below the 200 MA, which is a bearish sign. Generally speaking, it is a bearish sign, right? You should be getting a pullback there. So let's take a look here. And again, my success does make me cocky. I don't mean to be rude, but if you say you kept hitting, say you were a running back and every time you got the ball, you went 8 yards. Of course, when I get the ball, I'm going to tell you I'm going to run you over. You know what I mean? I run you over every time I get the ball. Like, I think confidence ensues success, and success ensues confidence. You know, and that's another thing that Jim Rohn talked about today. He said the person that goes against fear over and over again becomes very confident. They don't fall into fear a lot. So if the 15-minute can get back above the 200 MA, I would remain bullish. You see, this flips up, then we're good. That means we have this support here that's holding pretty nicely. We do have this. We double bottom there. We came back. Let's see if the 15-minute can revisit this 200 MA. You'll see me open a crazy long now. This might be some fun action here, right? And regardless of whatever the data came in today, as we had fun together, the idea is this. My instincts from my, here's the deal. My name is Sam Price. Okay, I possess a brain. Okay, my brain is like a net, a fishing net. Okay, your brain is too. All of our brains are. Any human being is a net, right? It collects data. Our brains collect data. If I put you in the woods for years, you would know a lot about the woods. Then I would come into the woods, never been there for, let's say there was a jungle and you lived in that jungle for 5 years. Your brain would be a net and it would collect so much data, wouldn't it? And you'd have all this data about the jungle. Now I would come to the jungle for a day and you'd be able to help me out. You tell me what not to eat, what snakes are poisonous. You would really be able to show me a life worth living in that jungle because you had the data, right? My mind is similar to, CPI, PPI, all this. I've been dragging my mind through the jungle of the charts. And I've been doing it now for 15 years. So when you join my Discord, you're paying for my subconscious mind. Don't you understand? I keep trying to explain this to people. Like, you're paying for someone that has a subconscious mind reader. I've been seeing the market for a long, and this guy's so pompous. I'm not pompous. I'm giving you scientific data of how a mind works. And because I haven't taken a day off and I've looked at the market since I was 24, I'm 42 coming up in a month now. My birthday's coming up in just 20 some odd days. So when you pay $3 a month to join my $3 a day, sorry, not $3 a month, would be great. When you pay $3 a day to join my Discord, you're getting a mind that has been running through the market for a long, long time. And so if I do give you a setup or an update, there's a good chance it's pretty dang accurate because I have the data in my subconscious mind that's producing the information. I'm not thinking this stuff anymore. My subconscious mind is figuring it out for me because I've given it enough information over time. This is why people that are really good at mathematicians, everyone, this is what it's called like a muscle memory sense. You start doing things without having to think of them. This is what traders are doing. That's why proper risk management is way easier for a long-term trader. He can see things way quicker than you can. He can set up the trade quicker than you can. That's going to take you time. Then you're wondering, how come I'm not making money like all these other traders? Because you don't have the subconscious mindset yet. You've got to build that. That's something that's going to take time. That's not going to be overnight. You're not just going to immediately make gains like that. That's something you're going to have to cultivate. Success is very similar to a crop, right? You don't just get a bunch of corn or get whatever crop you planted to come out. You got to work at that crop. And as the land gets better, as you till the land, as you get bigger crops over time and you start to, do more and fertilize the soil. But it takes time. Right? It's not something that happens overnight. Success is very similar. No one just makes success overnight like making crop. It's something that happens over time. It's you show up every morning at 5 a.m. Every morning at 5 a.m. And eventually, after a long period of time, you're a farmer with a high yield, right? A high yield, a good crop that yields you good gains. Look, that's bearish to me. I'm looking to open up a short flag here on MEXC. So subconscious mind theory, how do you help your subconscious mind? You give it data. You don't give it the bad data. If you give your subconscious mind bad data, for instance, if all day you read nasty stories about kidnappings and pain, what do you think? You're going to go to bed and probably have some nightmares, right? I mean, if you focus on negative, murder mysteries and your whole life is just, that stuff is negative frequency, man. You can watch it here and there, but over time, it's going to drain you. If you watch positive videos, documentaries about amazing scientists, people that are inventors, people that got teams together, people that made things happen, then I think, that's going to have a direct effect on you too as well. So look, I'm looking for a short here. The stop loss would be 81,544. We get back above the psychological area of 81.5. It's likely we go to, you know, and then the target's 77,368. I mean, that's just where it says we could go. That measured move here of this M pattern. And there's a bear flag on the 5-minute time frame that also looks kind of bearish to me. Heck, a bearish on the 1 minute. The 1 minute's about to dump out a bear flag to the downside right now as we speak. It's attempting some bullish divvy, but it's not there. It's not there right now. And you lost the 200 MA. That was the beginning of the bearish sign. So when the 1 minute lose the 200 MA, you then lose the 200 MA on the 5. Then you lose it on the 15. Then you'll lose it on the 1 hour. If you're already below the 1 hour, you're even more bearish. Your test was to get back above that. You didn't even get there. Heavy resistance at 84,000. 84.5, right? So we know that 84.5 level is so key to get back above. Wow, they're toying with this though, right? Something's telling me to just hold back on the trade. Like my trader instinct's telling me that you don't have the best edge. Only trade when you have your best edge, Sam, so you can look smart. I like to win my trades in front of everybody, right? Again, we cracked that 15-minute 200 MA. Look, they're going after the longs and the shorts here. They just did it. That was just a spike long. Kind of head and shouldery now, but So now what I do is I flip back to the 15. If we get above the 15, I will long this. Isn't that crazy how quick I can flip short and long? Oh yeah. Now I wasn't able, this is a skill I developed in the last 18 months. I started trading futures heavily the last 2.5 years. I didn't trade futures really. I traded futures about 4 years ago for about 6-7 months. Then I took time off and I didn't get wrecked or anything. I turned $100 into $700 in 36 hours trading futures using a 1 minute strategy and the 200 MA and divergences. I found that there was a dump every day on the 1 minute. And I would just find the reversal on the 1 minute and trade it. And if we got a reversal and it would move through the moving averages, I'd find if I got that every time, I could trade it over and over again. And I developed this pattern. It was a 45-minute class called Leverage Trading Bootcamp that I actually used to teach. And I could teach you how to trade leverage in the 1 minute. But again, then I got away from it. And not because I got wrecked or rocked. I made more money spot. I like spot trading. It felt more comfortable. Then the altcoins got funny, right? Things were up and down. We got into some slow periods and Bitcoin still had volatility. So I started trading leverage harder. Then I got better and better at it. Then I started producing monthly P&Ls that were good for me. And I started saying, hey, if I'm producing a monthly P&L that's good for me, then I might as well keep doing this. And lo and behold, I just kept going and doing what I'm doing. And now I've developed tried and true strategies that I use based off the 200 MA, the 21, the stochastics, and and they tell me exactly what to do, when to do it. And I just do that. And yes, I don't win every trade because that would be impossible. No trader, I'm not 100%. If I was 100%, I mean, my bot's 100%. It never loses, but that's because it's a bot. All right. And it just needs a little bit of a bump out through the mitigation strategy. See, it buys. Say it makes a $7,000 trade, right? And then we go down and it's wrong. It waits for a heavy divergence and it buys another $7,000. Then another divergence buys another 10. And then it's in so deep that it only needs price action. So it's called mitigation. We teach this, Master Friend teaches this too as well. Sign up to my buddy Master Friend inside of my trading group. We have another person in my group that teaches a leverage trading strategy with zero liquidation. It's quite fascinating, to be honest. I've never heard of it. I used it a few times. I made 3,500% gains when I traded. I believe I was trading Acro. I can't remember the coin. What I do is I set up a trade. I can see bearish divergence happening, but I get into a long on purpose. All right. And then when the bearish div occurs, I then mitigate the long. And what happens is then I know that we're headed down, and then we head down, you make massive gains. It's a beautiful way to trade. I've done it, but it does take a lot of thought, and it takes a lot of time. And you got to do the math. You got to want it really bad, and you got to make it happen. It's not an easy process. It is not for everybody. I believe it can be taught to everybody. You got to want it really bad though to make it happen. But shout out to Master Friend. He's in my trading group, and that's the QR code to him if you want to jump on in to get. It's an extra $300 in my trading group, but it's a one-time deal, and it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. He'll teach you about time and space. He'll teach you, not in space, but he'll teach you about time. So look, when price action gets above the 200 MA, that's bullish for me. A lot of times that creates a catalyst for a move to the upside. Many times I'll open up a very, very stiff long. What is a stiff long? A long that you know could get stopped out very easily with a high risk reward potential. So like this one, we could go to 86,486 for Bitcoin, right? And the stop loss is going to be about 80,386. All right. Funny, I've been trading CPI that same way for 3 years. No one's ever said a word to me. I guess because we've been accurate and everyone's making the gains. So they're like, he called it. So like, don't say a word. You know what I mean? But he's wrong, but he's right. So who cares? I made gains. Hey, I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you one thing about being a YouTuber that teaches people how to make gains. They can hate you. They can love you. You can be annoying. You can be whatever you want. As long as you make them gains, baby, they keep coming back. And so this channel makes amazing calls, man. And we have a good time together trading. I know we do. And the energy each and every one of you bring is amazing. The women in here are awesome. The men in here are awesome. And the buying it. No. Sorry. No, but I love each and every one of you for being here. And I appreciate everybody. As long as you want to help others, as long as you want to help yourself, as long as you believe that you're a progressive individual willing to learn, you're in the right place. You know, if you live in love, you have high frequency, you want to help others gain, like you truly believe by helping others gain, you will gain, I want to hang out with you. You're the type of person I want to be around. I want to be around high frequency individuals that attract high frequency individuals. Because that way more people will come into my life. You'll bring more high frequency people into my life, which will then bring more high frequency into my life. I want to be around people that are using the word gratitude regularly. I want to be around the people that are saying, you know what, I'm very grateful for that. Even though something didn't happen the way I wanted, I'm super grateful. My mom died on Thanksgiving a year and a half ago. Right in front of me as she was talking, she had a stroke and I lost my best friend in my whole life. You know, I bring it up on my channel. But you know what? I was grateful for it. Yeah, yesterday it made me cry my eyes out. Today, I don't know why I don't cry. Like today I could talk about my mom and not cry. Yesterday it made me cry. Some days grief is so strong, everybody. You don't know when it's going to hit you. And you guys see it on this channel. Some days I get hit so hard with that grief. I tell you, yesterday I was bugging out. Remember, I was like, I got punched in the stomach. It hit me hard. I couldn't hold back my tears. I had to take out my pocket square, right? And dab my eyes. But again, look, I'm going to take a long now right in front of you here. And we're going to full port this thing all the way 300 for two. No, I'm just... But we're going to go up to about 86,486. I may not get there. Probably liquidity at about, 84, 184. And still, this is very high risk. We close one candle above the 200 MA. There's a chance we can hold that many times. This is how, and I trade this. Now, this takes a lot of guts. You have to backtest this for months to be good at it. Because the first few times, you're going to be so afraid you're going to get stopped out. And then the second it comes down, you're going to, you're not going to have the guts to trade this the way I trade it. I'm telling you right now, it's going to take some time. Look, I'll lose 180 bucks. So be it. We made boatloads last week, so it's okay. As long as we're taking models and things that we know play out. So Sammy just took a long. It took a while. But we had bullish CPI data. And again, everybody, I can be wrong. I want to make that really clear. I can be wrong. Some days I'm confused. Some days I wake up on the wrong side of the bed, right? Most of the time I do not. 99% of the days I'm in a great mood, feeling good, putting my best foot forward. But there's definitely some times where I'm not going to feel amazing. All right, we got to get over that. And there's definitely times where I may be wrong. You know, this time I'm already, look, that's a fast cup of coffee. I told you I'm the king of 3%. Nobody makes 3% faster than me, baby. Nobody. Look, flex all 454, man. Let's go, Joe Namath. Dude, we're up $30 already, 5.75%, 6% of the trade. I made 35 bucks in under 2 minutes, in under a minute and a half. I mean, how to make 40 bucks in a minute. The book by Sam Price. So look, boom to the upside. Falling wedges break up 68% of the time. Stochastics are oversold. I buy when the stochastics are oversold and above the 200 MA. Let's see if we can get this squeeze back above 81,005. Psychological key area to the upside for Bitcoin. The second we get somewhere to this white line, and again, we like to pump back to the 21-day moving average. Back to the 21. We pumped away. We're going to come back to the 21, right? This is how we short. Same way we long. Look at the size of that candle. Sammy got you in at 11% immediately. Look, that's a fast 60 bucks. Some of the fastest 60 bucks I've ever made. Look, if you think the market's sketchy, you could begin to bring this right here. Look, I can even put the stop loss right below the 200 MA because if the 200 MA holds, we're good to go. It's supposed to hold. And look, you can hover on this and it tells you your stop's at $45. The least I can lose is 45 bucks. So now I'm 45 locked in, but what if this thing keeps ripping and I take a $500 trade today? See, this is the key. This is how you have small. This is why my entries are so key. This is why the best traders are nailing it. Not because they're the greatest traders, because their entries have such high probability because they back test the where they get in for a reason. Like they know when they get in, the odds of it moving from the second they buy are very high. Like my entries are surgical, right? And again, this could turn red and dump in my face in 2 seconds and everyone will laugh at me and they'll say, ah, ha, 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 ha. And you know what? So what? I'm willing to lose in front of people. That is a strength. Most people don't have the guts to lose in front of there's 2,300 people here on the stream. I could lose money in front of them. They could call me a clown. And I always say, don't call me a clown when I lose. Don't call me a genius when I win. This is just one trade in a data set of my life. You're just taking a piece of a trader's life, okay? Just a piece. It doesn't mean I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread if I win here today. It just means one of my trades played out. And one of my tried and true strategies that I backtested for years is doing well, right? So we'll go from there. And look, you don't even need a lot. I made 50 bucks off $500. How big is this trade? What am I doing? It's $500 in at 33x leverage, putting it at $16,890 position. Okay? Understand? 500 times 33 gives you 16, or 517 gives you 16,895, and it moves depending on the move, the margin that I have there, and how much the trade is going, and then I got to pay for the trade and the funding rate, right? So, but the idea is every time the 15-minute is here, we got above the 200 MA right there. Look, we closed one candle. See, this could be the trade. See this candle close right there? And then you open the trade I'm in right now. And again, I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Get your own financial advisor. Do your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade. But the idea here is this. I mean, we're above the 200 MA. You could open this trade right when this candle closed. You open up the trade and you get right in there. Put your stop here. And then look at that. Would have been I would love this. We might get this move. There's a chance this is the move we're going to get. This one right here. Okay. I go after this over and over. Look, we haven't crossed the 200 MA on the 15-minute in a long time. Look at this. We crossed it here and, on weird how I can't see my date for whatever. Why is that? We crossed it here on 312. I'm showing you the last time we crossed it for a bullish sign, like right there on 3.5, right? Then a little dip is, but they weren't, and then there's a huge move there on 3.1. So once every 4 to 5 days, you get one of these bigger crosses on the 200 MA on the 15. So it's a pretty hot signal. And again, this could easily dump on me. It's very high risk doing this. My stop loss is very close to entry, you see? But that's why it's like a 10-to-1 risk reward ratio, 7-to-1. And think, if you trade 7-to-1s, if I traded this 10 times and I lost, let's say I did it 100, I could either win 1,000 or win 10,000, win 1,000 or lose $100. It's a 10-to-1. This is 6.3, but say it was a 10-to-1. And you lose the trade, let's say 7 times, you lose $700. You win 2 times, you win $2,000. So and again, when the risk reward ratio is higher, you don't have to win as many of the trades. However, it is a more risky trade. The problem is a beginner will do this. They'll lose 8 straight. They'll be down $800, not realizing that the one about to hit could make them $1,000, right? You really have to do this on a demo account. That's why I tell everyone, go to futures, go down to demo trading, and you got to do this with a demo account. You got to have 200 trades in a diary, and you got to take into account the backtesting data set that you created. Once you have the data set, you'll be confident to take the trades. The reason I'm confident to take trades because I have the data behind it. I told you my subconscious mind has netted the information. A net goes through the world, right? And it's netted the information. So because I've netted the information, meaning I collected it like we net fish, I've pulled my brain through tons and tons and hours of price action. Don't you understand? I couldn't get this without giving it my time. I dedicated my entire life to this. So therefore, I got my entire life back. Understand? Dedicate your life to something. Go all the way. And I'm telling you right now, you will not believe the benefits you'll get from being all in on something. You'll be the best in your field. People will respect you and you'll know it. You'll show up to places and people will be there to shake your hand and want to meet you. They will be so in awe of your work ethic, your respect, and your consistency. They will want to know who you are. And when people want to meet you, that is a flattering, honorable feeling. I go to events around the country. People show up and say, hey, I know you. I watch your channel. I thank you so much for everything you've done for me, man. And when that happens, I feel like I'm living in a dream. I'm like I'm a known person around the United States. Like, people know me. I'm a niche micro celebrity, okay? But I'm a micro celebrity nonetheless, man. You know what I mean? And when you work your butt off every day in your basement apartment, all right, in your mom's basement, basically like I did, and you grind out of your mom's basement, and next thing you know, you're wearing 3-piece suits in Las Vegas, and people are coming up to you and they know who you are. Man, if that doesn't make you want to believe in God, I don't know what does, man. So look, we're getting the pump to the upside. This trade is actually starting to really play out into fruition for us to the upside. And Sammy Cup-and-Heady may have just called the reversal on the day here after the CPI flag move. Beautiful candle to the upside at 81,621. Who's in gains on this stream? Who's in gains on the stream right now? Who learned the education from me and likes the 200 a day? Who took that trade because, regardless, not because of me, because of their own strategies? Is anyone in gains right now on this move? Right? Micro celebrity meme, yeah. I love you, bro. I believe you. Lifer, you might have nailed, but crazy though on gosh. Hey, man. Honestly, I do this all the time. Maybe you should just get in line and take a number. I'm messing with you, Hopi. I'm messing with you. I like thick-skinned people, so whenever someone's around me, you know what I mean. I want to know you got thick skin. You could josh with me. I could josh with you. Look at the 333s here in the comment. All the people making gains. Gains and demo. 333. Took the trade with you. Gains are being made. Oh, man. And again, it's not huge, but at least it's better than nothing, right? Yeah. Yes, I have a long entry at 77.5. Oh, you're in early bird style. Yeah. New life in gains. Thanks for everything. God bless you, man. Yep. Followed you with self-evaluation up 12%. Amen. I made my own indicator. Took the trade on behalf of that from exact bottom. Amen. I love it. Close my soul short and open the long when you did on BTC. And maybe you should keep it on. Gains on gains. Don't blame me. Sam, you have found the bottom. It goes to 84,005 now. I'm shorting for the 50-minute time frame. Yep. We got people shorting still. Counter trading. It happens. Wow, 1K in profit. You're a boss. Afghan plus. Dude, my wife's Afghan. Afghan plus? What's Afghan plus? My daughters are Afghan. I got Afghan blood in my house. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam. Alhamdulillahi, my friend. And may your fast go well. Bears are still around. Be careful. I follow my own model and engage now again. Bang, bang, bang. Just learning and watching. Yeah, and we're not in a huge gain, right? 36. So this could go the other way. The idea is you can't lose a lot. It's not going to lose a lot of money. If I catch the bottom, I can make a G off a $45 risk. I mean, that's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Shout out to Kids Crushing Fish. I made some gains with Sammy at 3,000 feet on the toilet, in bed at the office, and even on the train. Making memories is better than the profit. God bless you, man. I started day swing back trading on Coinbase Advance. About to take a loss on the yearly subscription and stop jumping over quarters to pick up pennies. Amen, man. Amen. Amen. This guy said I'm down 8K right now. Entry is 83.5. I wanted to go up on my short anyway on Solana. You know what's crazy is a bunch of people are going to get rocked and wrecked today and lose tons of money. People are going to get liquidated today. Accounts are going to get completely demolished. Wow, the volatility is really, the spread is light today. It's going from 470 to 530. What is that? That's odd. See this on BOOKMAP? We're going from 490 to 5, 420 to 5. That's what's going on there? That's an anomaly. That's not supposed to happen there. They just slid in some orders or something. I don't know. That was very strange. I saw 420 back to 500. It's usually not an $80 spread here. Look, even 580 to 410. This is weird. Look at the spread today. I feel like their API, I don't know. That's weird. That's not normal. That was strange. There was heavy volatility right there on like the 30-second chart, 1 second chart. They were battling it right there. I'll tell you, man, the 200 MA is a stone cold entry point of time and space. And we may have caught the absolute bottom here. There is a chance. I can't wait to show this trade later on today and show my trading group that we're up huge. Dear Lord, thank you for the ability to find these gains every single day. Thank you for the ability to push forward every single day. And thank you for no matter what we do, no matter what our profession is, thank you for the ability to be consistent in what we all do. Consistency is how we gain respect, honor, and love from all the people in our life. Think about it. If your dad told you he loved you every day, but he never picked you up on time, would you really, wouldn't you be a little pissed? Yeah. If your dad said he loved you once in a while, but he was never late, wouldn't you know he loved you? Amen. So what does it mean? I mean, consistency is love. When someone is consistent with you, they love you, man. They love you. Some people don't have a good way of saying how much they love someone, but they definitely show it. My dad always said, you could tell me you love me all you want. I don't really care. He said, love is an action word. He said, show me that you love me by folding your shirt, by taking care of your stuff. If your mother buys you something new, I don't want to see it on the floor. When I was 8 years old, that's what he said to me. He walked in my room, my shirt was on the floor. He said, your mother just bought you these things. You show respect to your mother and you fold that and put it back in your closet. He said, love is an action word. You show your mother you love her by taking care of your stuff. And he walked out of my room and I was like, that's how my dad was, man. You know what I mean? That's how my dad was. All right. And I learned the hard, you know what? I think he was the best father for it. God bless him. God bless him. You know what I'm saying? God bless him. I'm so happy my dad was hard on me because now I'm able to be strong. My dad was a hard iron worker, Harley riding. Man, you ain't going to mess with my father, right? And so I'm so happy I got a good upbringing, a solid upbringing, and I was raised by a real alpha male that didn't take no BS, man. All right? Because that's who I am now, and that's who I'll be for my kids. And that goes to all the boys. You're going to try to date my daughters. I got 3 daughters. I don't even want to think about it, right? Oh, my God. Remember, imagine the lifer opening the front door with the pocket square. Who are you? Shout out to everybody here on the live. So now we got our second green candle. So we got our first candle to close, our second candle to close above the 200 MA. It's crucial that we stay above the 200 MA now. Very crucial. So in the next 15 minutes, we're going to tell a story. This candle closes green and pumps up. We're going to be in pretty good shape for a continuation. Then we have 3 white soldiers. Then we know 1, 2, 3 white soldiers is another bullish pattern candlestick wise. I can't look, but there's a chance we get this move. Everyone thinks I caught the actual bottom here on the channel. The last few days I've been catching bottoms. You got to have some fun, right? I mean, you got to laugh every once in a while. It can't be all serious all the time. Dude, I put on cufflinks for you today, all right? And you told me I was wrong. Man, you people are amazing. Shout out to the 2,267 people here on the live, 725 likes. Let's get those likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. Bitcoin getting the move. Sammy getting this call. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I can't wait. It's likely we're going to pump at least to the 21-day moving average. That would be where I might take some profit on this swing trade here. All right. Ayo. Who's in gains right now with the lifer? Who took the gutsy call with the lifer with the very small stop loss? We didn't have to risk a lot. That's the key. What a beautiful trade. We did not have to risk a lot on this trade. I love trades like these. You don't get trades like these every day. These are golden. If this thing can actually do what it's going to do, baby, if this heads back up to 83.5, my goodness, man, we got ourselves a win. My dad loved me, forgot to pick me up once. He felt bad about it the whole life. What a sweet man. Dang. That's crazy. My dad wasn't that sensitive. No, but yeah, he was, my dad was just on time, man. He was on time. He was there waiting. You know, I would always, like soccer practice, I'd look, my dad was sitting there reading a book. He would just get there 20 minutes early and start reading a book. You know. My dad did one funny thing. He would pick me. This is a fun thing my dad did that no one else ever did, right? You know, Boston was cold. He had a nice Ford. He had a nice Ford Chevy. He had a Chevy pickup, right? He had a Chevy pickup truck, right? This is hilarious. I know it's a little off topic, but I got to give it to you guys. So that's a Chevy, horrible pickup, right? But he would be outside in the parking lot while I was at hockey practice. You know, the rink is cold. You're sitting in a rink, but it was a sunny day. It was like 48, 50 degrees, maybe in March or something, maybe even like 42. He'd put his coat on. He had a lawn chair. He put the lawn chair in the back of the pickup truck. And he'd sit in the lawn chair and read his paper. And people would look at him like, what the heck is this guy doing? And my dad would be in the parking lot because he knew he could get the sun. And he liked to read. So he was going to sit in his car, right? And so what a smart, no one did it. People thought my dad was so strange. People laughed at him. They actually made jokes about him. Like they thought he was slow or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Funny. But my dad never cared what other people thought about him, man. He did whatever the heck he wanted. He was awesome. My dad was the best. He was the best. He didn't give a dang, man. You couldn't tell him nothing, and he did it his way every time. Just like I do. Just like I do, baby. It's my way or the highway, baby. The lifer, man. And, God bless you, Dad. I miss you more than you would ever know. He's a good guy. Beautiful move here for Bitcoin. And look, we didn't trade the bear flag. Thank the goodness. Thank the sweetness. 81,900 for BTC. And the trade is just going beautifully well right now to the upside. Now we're up 100 now. I had to take $100 and it only took a half an hour to make $100, right? But that looks like we're getting to the two. I think I would like to take profit. See, now I can move the stop. A little sketchy to move the stop to break even. But right there, look, I can, it's a little almost too close. So I'll stay there. But soon, the next candle close. Look, in 10 minutes and 27 seconds, this candle will close. How do we know that? Right click, go to countdown to bar close. That menu is also hidden on TradingView. Let me show you. They've moved it ever since. Go here to labels and go to countdown to bar close. And it will tell you when that bar is going to close. Like 10 minutes and 7 seconds. Dude, what a move on the 15-minute time frame that Sammy J may have just called. Unreal, right? At this point, you're in the money on the entry. So you do whatever makes you happy. See, now nobody cares that I don't know what CPI is. You see what I mean? Nobody cares. They just want to make the money, baby. Hey, it is what it is, right? You can also, a nice $110. We could take it. Don't be greedy. Look, I can move the stop loss right here and make sure. You know what I'll move? I'll put the stop loss there. I'll move to the 1 minute. I'll show you not to be greedy right now. We can always get back in when the 1 minute makes a beautiful flag, right? So look, now I'm solidifying an $89 win. No matter what, I'm going to win $89. You see? Now, price action is likely going to come to that 21-day moving average and make a bull flag of some type on the 1 minute. If we're bullish, we're going to flag out here. The 21 is going to come into price action, right? And we're going to turn this into a flag. We could make it could end up being something like this. We don't know exactly how the flag will play out. It would be nice if it bounces here though and makes a more lateral flag. The more lateral the flag, the more bullish. But it can still make a downward bull flag. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be lateral, meaning sideways. It could be a more vertically down flag. It just depends. All right. The key here is that we make a bull flag. The 21 comes into price action. And we win, right? Now here, look, I'm going to get stopped out likely. And you say, but it looks like the 15 minutes is going to continue to carry you. I probably should just go back to the 15. It's a very low risk, so I'm going to keep it there. I forgot. If I was full porting, I forgot. My risk is $45. So I might as well just see if I can not, take it all the way. But there was a quick $100 to be had right there. I'm just saying. So it's up to you whether you want to take it immediately, right? The person that pays themselves over time wins over and over again. I like the 1 minute. To me, it felt like I was gonna take 100 too early out of something that really might pay me $500, $600 to maybe even $1,000. So Shout out to St. John's. I believe they play a big game today. St. John's, maybe 2 p.m. in the they're playing in the Big East the Big East Conference champion, the Big East the Big East tournament today, which will have some effects on who goes in and what goes in and the rankings on the NCAA March Madness tournament, which is like the funnest tournament, I think, in all of sports. March Madness is just amazing. And every year I always get caught up in the hype a little bit. And to see St. John's doing the game, bang, bang, bang. Sam's the type of guy that get locked inside a motorcycle. No. Come on, man. That's lame. Ain't even funny. I had a Harley Davidson for years, so like, let's talk about Harleys, bro. Don't make me run you down, man. Look at the 5 minutes, Sammy. Is it bearish? 5 minutes attempting to get back above the smooth moving average. See, this is the smooth. We got rejected by the smooth moving average. And the 21, we need this to curve. 5 minute is overbought on the stochastics RSI. Could give us some problems. The key is just to trust that 15-minute 200 no matter what. Smart move would be to scalp if you were full porting or heavy. And everyone says, I never go for the full moves. When I'm trading this, I just get in and get out what I can. Right? The idea is, look, we can lose $45, $57. We're already up $100. So let's see what happens. Sam, what's your favorite hockey team? I mean, the Bruins. I grew up in Boston, man. I love the Bruins, but I like Boston University, Boston College. Boston College was amazing last year. I watched a couple of their games. I went with my buddy Brian. Sam, the type of guy to long a bear flag and win. Hey, we did long the bear flag. Look, we longed the bear flag. Look, let's go over the bear flag that we just longed. So many people just shorted this bear flag and they got smashed because they don't know how to use the 200 MA. The 200 MA is so deadly, it counter trades the entire market. So some whale counter trades the whole market on the 200, and I ride with them. And they just look, because so many people would have shorted that. That's a bear flag. I shorted it. I mean, I longed it. Sam's the guy to long a bear flag and win. Yeah. It's not the first time. Master Friend told me that one day. He's like, dude, I don't know what you were doing. He's like, the whole market was so bearish. He's like, it was the most bearish flag ever. He's like, you longed it and the whole thing ripped. He was like, I don't know how you do it, man. I love you, Master Friend, man. You're the best. Remember that day you were like, you longed that bear flag, man? He's like, I don't know how. It was like a huge call, too. I lose my mind when you counter trade patterns. It's probably the best thing ever. Yeah. Well, because I don't just trade patterns. See, that's what people don't realize. I trade move. See, at the end of the day, it's the 200 MA that's my boss. The 200 MA is my boss. Like, patterns, everything else comes into play. There's all a bunch of things in and out, but the 200 MA is my boss. And everyone, I'm trading here on MEXC. MEXC, the greatest place to trade because the fees are the lowest of any other exchange in the game. The fees are tiny. Like, tiny. Like, no one else does it like MEXC, baby. Look, Maker is 0%. My Taker is 0.2. And it's 50% off, right? From 0.4. They cut the rate. It's 50% off, man. So that's unbelievable, bro. So you pay the least amount of fees than any exchange in the game with MEXC. Everyone else is at, way higher than that. So you got to love that, man. Yeah, that only comes after years and years of watching. Amen. Bear flag at a discount works every time. I love you, man. Your mom is NWOG. What kind of I wasn't saying that to anybody's mom. I'm reading his screen name. It's ridiculous. You have to be one with price action. Thanks for doing what you do, Mr. Price. Anytime, everybody. I just want to make sure everybody wins. If my knowledge can help you win, so be it. That 5 minute did look treacherous, oversold, and stochastic. Look like it's coming for us now. Yikes. That looks like it's gonna come take me out. We may not win there. Ooh, it's sketchy. So here's the deal. See how the 5 minute hasn't crossed the 200 MA? That's bearish. Like, you got to get back above that. So what I'll do is I'm just going to put my stop loss and take a quick $30. All right. And if we get back above the 5, I'm going to trade my model later on today. You see? See, If price gets above here, the 21 crosses, then I'll take the trade. Definitely should have snatched the 200, I think, or that 120 right there. All right. Let's go. I'm still short. Hey, you never know, man. You might, because as long as you're below the 200 MA here on the 5, I like the 15. I get it, but... And they took me out of the trade, right? Yeah. So, and there, anytime you don't lose, it's a win, man. Anytime you don't lose, it's a win. Because think about it. If you can go through all your trades and, I won 45, I won 30, but then I hit 500, hit 800. It's about maintaining your capital and hitting hard when the market's good. That's what trading is about for me. Maintaining your capital, hitting hard when the market's good. You don't go hard right here and give up. Like some guy said he's down eight racks. How could you be down 8 racks? That's insane. And the cool thing is you can still make this trade now. Right? You can still make the trade. As close as you are to the 200 MA, you don't want to give it up. And I know I'm like, but the 5 minute, Sam, back and forth. I know. Wait, hold up. I just got confused. The 5 minute, I'm sorry. All right, yeah, there we go. All right, this was still highlighted 5, but it was on the, yeah. Now, the 15 minute is strong. Getting above the 15 minute 200 MA is a strong signal, in my humble opinion. It's almost worth just, hiding, sitting there. So look. You already take some profit. We make the same trade now. A little higher risk now, but we can give them $40, right? Oh, wait. See what I just did? You go to make the trade. You got to come back here and hit this first and make sure you get, because the risk will be different. It's happened to me a few times now. So I'm gonna get back in here. Right? And all I did was cover in case that 5 minute was going to come down on us. It looked like it's not. Looks like we can stay in the same trade. Risk is higher, 87 now, but we're all right. And now I'm back in because that 200 should hold us. Then we'll crack the 5 minute 200 and look at that wick. I like it. And now look, this could be flagging out. And now, don't you see the inverted head and shoulder on the 5 minute time frame? Shoulder, head. What? You didn't see that? How come you didn't see that? You didn't see that? No, I'm just messing around. But look, there's an inverted head and shoulder there on the 5 that tells us we can get further to the upside, cross that 200 MA and pump all the way to 84,155, right? Sam, I played a cop, I played a 5 minute. It doesn't matter. I can do it. I played Maki. I told Tom Brady not to go with that curly head kid, but he did it anyway. I would with Gala and The Rock. It doesn't matter. Babe, I can do this, babe. I played a cop, I played a fireman. I was the shooter in that movie. I can get it done, babe. I'm Maki Wahlberg. Dirk Diggler. So, shoulder, head, right shoulder. Can we continue further to the upside? I want to see us go to 83,850. That's the key level that we could probably get to. All right? I want to see us get all the way up there. How do you track all your futures trades, wins and losses for your tax statements? The exchange does it for you, and then you just print it out and hand it to your guy. Yeah, you guys use way too much of your brain power figuring things out that are just pointless, that are done already for you. Yeah. Kraken takes 1 week. It may take some time, yeah. This might be the beginning of an uptrend. It definitely could be. There's your cup and handle. There's the money printer kind of in there in a way. There's the cup. There's the handle. And we're holding 81,005. You could just long 81.5 right now and be good with it. Right? Let's go over to BITUNIX or BITUNIX. Are you next with BITUNIX? Where's my BITUNIX? I don't have it up. No. Hold on. Futures. Futures over here. I was doing something weird there. I don't know what's going on. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go over here. All right. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here on that 15. When I see stuff like this, it tells me that there's a chance over here. So look, I love about this. You pull this here. You know what percentage you have and what leverage you're at. So I'm at 51. I'll bring this down to 30. I don't need to be as high as I was there. 33 is my What did it say? The maximum amount was $10 million. So they'll let me put 10 mil in there. That's crazy, right? And then you just open the long immediately. This is so great, right? And I just drag this up to get it to catch. Once it catches, I move my stop loss up. I move my stop loss down, and my take profit up. And there we go. And you can see I'm going to make 264. I'm risking 79. You see that? Beautiful trade. I'd like to double that trade. I'd like to risk 150 for 5, right? It combines the stop losses to all. Let's see. Yep, 170 for 500. Understood? And now this thing pumps, I'm good to go, right? And I'm covered. Now, that's technically buying the breakout. I'll be honest. Like, there's no real strategy here. I'm buying the breakout of the 200 MA. But I found I backtested it for years, and it works better than almost anything else I've ever done. And so, hey, let it rip, man. And this is already up $16 pretty fast, 2%, almost up 3%. I'm the king of 3%. I told you. Look, I'm up 3% already. I told you, man. No one makes 3% faster than me. Nobody in the game. All right, Benjamin Franklin over there. Hey, paisana. So look, we're ripping now. Now the original trade, if you didn't get in or out, is doing damage. That 15-minute is still plowing to the upside. We got 3 white soldiers. 1, 2, 3. Third, now that's a sign for a continuation move to the upside now for BTC, right? The key is not to get over-risked, over-hedged. You don't need to lose. You don't need to lose. But as this market gets more frothy and that 5-minute gets up, now once the 5-minute gets above the 200 MA, that would be a double down. The 5-minute crosses this 200 MA, you double down, likely again. So what's going to happen is we're going to get a short squeeze likely very soon. We're going to violently cross the 200 MA, but we're going to gap away for the 21-day moving average. Then we're going to have to come back down. They're going to go after the late longs. They're going to scare people to get out because they're going to think it's a false move. And then that's the flag you want to trade. You want to trade the flag above the 200 MA on the 5 as the 21 comes into price action. If that happens, I'll probably open up a trade on weeks there and have another trade cooking. So the shoulder, head right shoulder is looking good to me. We called an awesome entry on BTC. Nobody cares that I have no idea what CPI means because people made money with me today. You see what I mean? And again, I proved my point the same way as I've always have. All right. That we just got to look at the charts, man, and play the charts. And we don't have to be brainiacs. You don't have to be a scientific analysis. You just got to be consistent in what you do every single day. Okay. This thing is mooning, bro. 81,977 for Bitcoin. Absolute move. Shout out to everybody who's in gains with the lifer. Who I made you feel good because we were positive and had positive energy. I made you feel good because we're in gains. Can I see 333s in the comment section? Can I see 333s? If you made gains today with me, if you're still up right now, 82,000 for Bitcoin. The pump is real, baby. The pump is real. All right. The pump is real. And now we are starting to rip ski to the up ski. All right. Now it's starting to move. And you can see, when I start opening up multiple positions on multiple exchanges, And so look at this rippage. And it was that 15-minute 200 MA that gave us the sauce, that gave us the strength. And look, there was a lot of people down there. They're not there anymore. We go really close. There's some $86,000, $85,000 level. We could go to 85K. So they're still down there all the way down at 76, 77, and even someone at 66,005. I mean, it's a Hail Mary there. Do we go to 66K? Anything is possible. All right. This could turn around and dump in our face in 1 second. All right. So just, trade accordingly. Always have a stop loss. Does the eclipse have anything to do? I did hear there's an eclipse coming, right? A full eclipse or something like that. Next couple of days. Yeah. Anyway, everyone, I love you so much. It's 12 o'clock. My wife, my daughter had 2 friends back in Boston. We became friends with their parents. They're a great family. They're visiting us. I can hear them in the pool right now. So I want to go be a great host and treat them like great guests and say hello. They know I do my show. So they're always like, when people join, they're like, oh, he's in the room there. It always makes me realize how strange my life is when people When people come and visit, it makes me realize what a weird life I live. Like, it's very non-normal compared to the regular life, right? It's like, oh, he's in there doing his show with the suit on. Thoroughly enjoyed the stream. Thank you. Yeah, just saw the eclipse news on the Weather Network. Yeah. There's a blood moon eclipse. A lot of stuff coming our way. I logged the Tutoring on the 15-minute time frame. We may have caught the absolute bottom here. There's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance. This was the fake move. They went and got everybody. Now they're going to do the real move. You never know. Shout out to anyone. Remember, Master Friend is your friend. He's here to help you. I hired him. I work with him closely because I believe he's one of the best. All right? Hit the QR code to find out more. Talk to a friend about a friend. Learn more today. Shout out to everybody here. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. I'm going to jump on into the fan funding right now, as we always get super chats on the live. And I want to make sure that I address them all. JP, he says, the CPI goes down, they cut the rates. If it goes up, they raise the rates. Thank you so much. CPI down, tariff expectations relief. Mini pump. Amen. I like that. Hey, Sam, what's this blood moon people are talking about? Exactly what it is. It's a red moon, and it's big. Check out the liquidity heat map. It was liquidity sweep with an SFP that aligned perfectly with the 200 SMA. Easy money. Honestly, the SFP will align with the 200 SMA almost every single time. That's why I use the 200 SMA. I don't even need to know what the SFP is. Understand? Aha. How did Bitcoin hit 108K with all the bad news at Biden in? Someone make it make sense. What are you talking about? Money, printing money. Yeah, someone make it make sense. I love it. Yeah. Shout out to Master. I didn't realize that was you, Master Friend. I was just read it. Yeah. 100%. I give you a yeah. How did you look at the M2 money supply correlation with Bitcoin? 100%. And they're about to pump M2 in the next 2 to 3 months, which is likely going to pump Bitcoin. Hey, Sam, thoughts on the Dow 3-day chart? Looks like an M pattern with a measured move down 10%. Thank you. I have 2 daughters, and I hope they talk about me like you talk about your parents when I'm gone. That's the goal. Amen. Amen. Always here for that high-frequency energy. I have a different trading style, and I'm profitable, but here for motivation daily anyway. Why have a different trading style? The 200's easy. Simple, I mean. Like, just buy when you cross the yellow line. Like, why do something different than that? Like, my thing is this. Here's my idea. This is my one thing. This is why I get a little, sometimes, and again, I guess everyone thinks their style is the best, right? Everyone thinks theirs is the best. But look, we're pumping, man. I call that beautiful move. Like, look at that. 3 white soldiers correcting 15 on the way to the 200. Anyway, say there was, everyone's driven a car, right? And sometimes there's a road that does this, but then there's like a side road and it goes diagonal and you get to your location, And then there's one that like goes through a rotary over here, does all of this and gets to the location. Like, you both get there, but one way's a lot longer. The 200 is your quickest way to the game, man. Like, trust me, I did the fibs like you guys did. I played with ICT a little bit, not enough, but I played with almost every concept in the game. Money flow, ADXDI. I've done things I've never even told you guys about for years, man. I did the hash ribbons. It never ended how many things I played with. And I came back to the 200MA because I realized that's how they're manipulating everyone else that's doing anything different. But again, you do whatever makes you happy. But in my mind, why not just use the 200MA? It's the most simple way to do it. Like, it's simple. Like, we get above this in the 5 minute, we're going to pump to liquidity to 84,000. Like, we're going to make gains. You see what I'm saying? Like, gains on gains. Look at this. This is a flag now. I trade these flags all day long, all the time. In my trading group, I post like 5 of these a day sometimes. That's the trade right there with a stop loss below there. Bang. I could trade that on weeks now. See, I could trade the 5 minute flag on weeks. Watch. And this is why I like having multiple exchanges. I use weeks. I use BITUNIX. I use Mexi. I use them all. I use all the exchanges all the time because I have all different ideas that I'm using. Like, this one is the 5 minute cross on the swing. And I want to get out quickly at about 84K. Looks like I might not have time to execute. Below the 200, the 21. Risk reward ratio is a little scan. I would have to go higher. May not do that though. I'd probably sell at 80. Oh man, 82, 190. See, we're ripping, man. These trades are ripping now. You're in massive gains now on these trades. Like, you're doing good. We crossed that 200MA. This is going to continue to rip. BITUNIX ripping. It's all going well. A little late on the week's trade. Oh, we got the wick back down. Right when I said that. Unbelievable. It's like they were like, Sammy, we'll give you time to get in, man. Don't worry. What did they just do to me? I thought All right, here we go. They just gave me a second chance at the last second. They're like, all right, you wanted to get in? All right, Sammy. You didn't tell us you wanted to get in. Let's just, we'll dump the price for you over here. Now you can get in. All right. So, again, I could get wrecked on all these trades, too. Remember that. No, nothing is guaranteed as a trader. You're going off probability every single time. That's rejection of the 208. We got to break that to remain bullish. I'll wait on 81195. And again, I could even just take the two scalps that I was already up $100 each time and been up. Oh, that's nasty. I don't like to lose, so I'm very quick to cover price action, Might as well just keep it and let it run. The stochastics tell us this will continue. Go to the jacuzzi, hang out. Everyone, leave your trades alone and go for a walk. We'll come back to money. All right. If we stare at them, we may do, just let this trade cook. Stop losses go. We'll come back in an hour. I'll take my break from the screen. I've got bright light shining on my face right now and it burns my eyeballs. So it'd be nice if I could get off the screen. But when I... Man, I felt great the last few days. I've been fasting and I feel amazing. It's giving me this unending energy that just a new lease on life, so to speak. Sammy, you changed my life. The real deal. All heart, man. God bless you for the $50 super chat. Red West Gold, I love you. You're hard too, man. Just like my dad, brother. Can we do a quick macro for Tron? Sam, what's your favorite hockey team? We looked at that. Boom. Always here. The high frequency energy. I have a different trading style. Yeah. I have $2. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, so we had a lot. What was cool, we had a lot of super chats. But you guys didn't have to make me go to work. You didn't give me tons of tickers, right? So the stream still goes on. Shout out to the 845 beautiful people on the stream. $115 in chat revenue. We'll do a quick macro for Tron and see what's happening for Tron. Huge pump for Bitcoin. Out that flag. 82,156. That is strong. Strong. 5 minute crushing it. Out this flag. Should have snatched it on the week's trade there. Why is it doing that? Look, it keeps remembering like an old... That's a nice flag right there. I like it when we go into the flag, but I don't know what I was drawing. Hold on, one last time. I'm getting antsy for the end of the show over here. And I attempt to give you guys a free gain every day here on this channel. A free gain. Think about it. A free gain. Like, you come here to this channel, you get the education, I give you a free trade. Trade should play out over time. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to hit every time, so I wish I could. I wish I was 100%, but I'm not. But if you show up most of the time, we're going to do pretty good together. And so there's no other channel really that pays you to watch it the way this channel does, man, in dividends. It pays you in education, it pays you in knowledge, and it may just pay you in a gain if you have the education to take the same trade. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, and I don't want to put you in a risk that you can't handle. But if you're doing it with me on a daily basis and you're starting to catch the idea of what's happening here and you're gaining that momentum and that strength, mental stability, focus. And again, how are we hitting these gains? The idea, I'm watching the charts all the time, everyone. I'm not taking time away from the charts. I am heavily focused. You got to stay focused. You got to stay focused. Did you work out this morning? I did. 100%. You got to do what you got to do to keep yourself pushing. And I'm going to enter this trade real quick, too. I'm going to do this one 100 for 3. This one's a lot riskier, you see, than the other ones. But if the other ones pay, then I can also take this loss, and it won't be a big deal either. $100,000 in the trade. No, $1,000 in the trade at 20x leverage. This is a $20,000 trade. Right? 0.15 BTC. 0.1 is $8,000. Half of that is like $12,000 trade then, right? Yeah. Anyway, so that's the last trade I made right here on Weeks. Be careful. That's high risk. If you didn't get in yet, there's a good chance that thing gets stopped out. So just be careful. That's not as well set up as the other ones. But we crossed the 200 May. We're gone, baby, gone. All right. Everyone, I'm trading on Weeks, MEXC, and BITUNIX. BITUNIX. I have links to everything. Can you show me your settings for the moving averages? They're just the basic settings. The 21-day. Yeah. You can actually just go here. My mentor who passed away, he made these with me. You can go to the templates and just type in CBC. and hit CBC 5MA DRS. That's going to be the 5 simple moving averages that I use. The 21, the 50, the 80, the 100, and the 200. And it's also going to be the right colors. They're all going to be yellow and white in the colors that I use. So there's going to be that. Just hit CBC 5MA. You're ready to go. Ooh, now we're hitting some resistance now. Anything could happen. We could dump. Always protect the purse. Never get complacent. The thing is, we're away from the 21, so we should pump up to it. And the Stokes still have legs to run. So I let that stop cook and go from there. Everyone, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. We hit a nice little win there. But again, it's just one of many days. You know, don't call me a genius. Don't call me a loser. These are just 1 days of my trading career. Everyone, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Without each and every one of you, we never would have had 2,300 people here on the stream. One of the biggest streams we've ever had. We continue to push forward no matter what. They can't get us out of this market. They can't flush us out. We are going to keep pushing every single day. May God bless you for being here. One thing I do want to look at is gold in the S&P because I said I would, and I'm a man of my word. So let's take a look at gold real quick. Gold getting a little spike up on the day. And I like gold. I like where gold's at right now. I've been talking about a consolidative move for gold here. Look at that inverted head and shoulder for gold. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Gold getting tight. The dollar getting loose. The dollar losing value. Gold's about to pump. If gold pumps, doesn't real estate go up in value? Because, right? Not every time, but it begins that idea. Anything with a fixed asset price that has a scarce supply will go up in value. That's just what should be happening. So I see gold making a huge move not too long from now. Did the S&P bounce off the bottom? Did it bottom? You know, there's a chance. I've been calling a bottom for the S&P for the last few days here off of this head of the shoulder when everyone else has been telling us we're going lower. I've been saying I see us money printing. They're going to turn the money printer on. And like someone said too, M2 money supply going to flood the market. They can't control the entire world without controlling the money supply. As the world gets more inflated, they need to continue to create a bigger money supply to control the world. Understand? They can't control the world with the same money supply they controlled it 2 years ago because they've lost value in the dollar. And not only has the dollar lost value, but currencies all around the world have lost value, right? Even worse than the dollar. You know, that's why we go over the Gini Foundation. We show you the $10,000. Look at this, $1 trillion. They literally had $1 trillion Zimbabwe, right? $1 million Nicaraguan, $100 million. Look at Zimbabwe, $100 trillion bill. $100 trillion bill. Like, that's absurd. Like, when they first started money, we were like, okay, here's a coin for a coin. You know what I mean? You ever think we'd be trading $100 trillion bills? Like, that means something went wrong in the system, right? We used to say, hey, I have I'm going to trade a piece of meat for a piece of silver. It was 1 for 1. Then we traded this piece of silver, and we're like, okay, we're going to use this form of currency. Bitcoin back at 82,000, looking good. Take a look at BOOKMAP too. BOOKMAP has levels above us as well. So I'm keeping the long open. I like that wick. I'm ready to rock. You saw all my longs. You saw what I did. I didn't hide anything from you. Oh, sorry. I didn't have the screen on while I gave you guys the S&P. So look, I'm looking for this giant inverted head and shoulder to play out on the S&P. I'm looking for a bounce in the S&P. I've been saying it for days now. I've been saying it for days. I might be the only guy calling this. Everyone else is Bear City on the S&P. I haven't been. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to jump on out of here for the day. May God bless each and every one of you. May you have a wonderful, wonderful day with your family, friends, at work, wherever you are, trading. Believe in yourself. You're the only one that can. And remember, you know what the secret to success is, right? It's getting started. Crypto is life.